chairman.
What is going on, everybody? What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome back. Welcome back. Glad to see everybody again. We are here at Shady, Just for Bad Sportscast, guys. We are at episode 11. Welcome back, fellas. We are here with Lamb, Just for Bad Gamers. We are here with Hiatus, also known as Shady's Bearded Reaction. What's going on, fellas? We had a short little break. We got caught up in a little bit of a grind with DLC coming out, that and working this, that, and the other. We've had a lot going on the last week, but how's everybody been, guys?
Yes, I've been good.
I've been
Grinding,
great,
still
man.
grinding.
Feel that. Feel that. The grind's been ridiculous. What about you, Lamb?
Same, man. Just grinding, trying to get ready for the day one raid on Saturday. Trying to get up to 12:30 so I can take the Bubble Titan in there, Actium War Rig, Xenophage. You know what I'm saying? Pop off as usual.
And speaking of Saturday, guys, with Day 1 Raid being out, we won't have podcasts on Saturday just because of that. All three of us are included into a raid group and on various teams, so there will be no podcast on Saturday, unfortunately, because we're going to be all included into that, and it's going to be a long stretch for all of us. It's going to be a long day for all of us. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited
Man,
for it. I'm excited for it, though.
that's the understatement.
Y'all are gonna have more stress than my team is, by the way, because y'all are competing. But
It's gonna be
we
fun.
This guy,
yeah.
this guy.
It's gonna be fun. But we're gonna touch up first on the NFL, guys. We had some interesting games here this last week. Thursday's game, I wasn't expecting Thursday's game to be such a lopsided game between the Titans and Colts. A dude asked me at work, actually. He's like, who are you picking this game? I was like, honestly, I'm picking, I don't know who I can pick, but I'm saying 17-14. It's going to be a close game. I got one of the numbers right, chat. The other number was doubled. Colts rolled away 34-17 in this one, and I was surprised by it. I was actually expecting a lot closer game in this one, especially with it being a divisional game at the same time too. What's going on with the Titans, guys? They're kind of falling apart here.
Going on, Lamb. Going on with them Titans.
Yeah. So here's the thing that we all knew. Even why am I turning this up? Is this my volume? So here's the thing that we all knew with the Titans, that they're a one-trick pony. They're let Derrick Henry run straight through your heart and soul, and it's going to open up the pass game. We've been suspect. I've even mentioned it in way earlier streams about how they still almost lose games. The Houston Texans come back on them. Pittsburgh Steelers come back on them. Like, they're not a defensive squad. We're seeing the exact same thing from the Seattle Seahawks. One trick pony. Just offense, 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 offense,
Yep.
offense with no defense. And your offense will get figured out. I don't care how good of an NFL team you are. I don't care if you started off the season 6-0, 7-0. If you're an all offensive team, your offense will get figured out. You have to have defense. And it even goes back to some of the power rankings that we've had early in the season. The teams with the defenses are the ones who are still being talked about right now. And y'all know me, whether it's Lamb talking or whether it's Lamont talking, I will defend the teams who might have 3, even 4 losses if they're a better overall team and not a one-trick pony. And I think people are figuring out that the Titans, they're just one-trick ponies. It's just shove Derrick Henry down your throat and then open up the play action to Corey Davis, to Juno Smith, to, you know what I mean? But that's it. That's all they are.
Hi, to say anything, Ed?
So, no, I mean what he said is very true. And we've kind of seen that happen to them. Like, their fall has been something that it's bad to see. Like, you go from people putting you in top 5, saying, yeah, they have the best chance at this and that, and then it's like, yeah, now people don't even really want to mention your name because they don't know what they're going to get from you from week to week, you know?
Right.
And like Lamb said, when you're so photogenic that we already kind of can guess what it is that you're about to do, that's easy pickings. It's easy pickings for anyone. So, and I mean that's just kind of how it's been.
I feel,
Unfortunately for them, though.
right, right. I feel that. Uh, Looking at the next game, it was actually a low scoring game of the week. Texans Browns. Very run heavy in this game by the Browns, and pretty much dominated this game in time of possession with the run game. Um, I was expecting more scoring out of this, but Nick Chubb came off of IR and pretty much dominated this game with 130 yards coming back, and I was expecting more out of the Browns, honestly, but they really didn't do a whole lot besides the run game, and it was pretty disappointing. I was looking at this going into the fourth quarter, and neither quarterback had 100 yards passing through the air yet. And I was like, what is going on in this game?
Or,
Like, how terrible is this game right now?
man,
So, Melby, your first mistake is that you were still expecting something from the Browns. I thought we
expectation.
right.
Well,
I mean, I thought it was consensual that we no longer have any faith in the Browns
against the
in
2
what
and
they're
7
attempting.
Texans and then putting up 40 points on a couple
Let me
of
ask
teams
you let
this
me ask
year,
you a
I was
question.
like, we should have saw at least more than
Let me
3
ask you a
points
question,
going into the fourth quarter.
Melby. When you see a Dallas Cowboy game, do you bet on the Cowboys or the team that they're facing? Because as Lamont has informed us, they're tanking, right?
Team that they're facing.
Exactly.
What is
So
the team that they're
the
facing?
Browns have really shown us that they're not ready for this. They're not ready for prime time. Like they
Right.
have good potential to be something in the future to get it together, but so far it this ain't it, boss. This ain't it.
It's not. It's not.
But again, this kind of goes back and kind of reflects, all of the, and this always happens every season, where you have a superstar that goes out and then the team has a good game and it's like, oh, well, we really don't need the superstar. And then post, the next couple games, it's like, we really could use Odell Beckham right now. Like,
Yes,
sheesh.
sir.
So it's
I
like,
They don't
completely
do
agree.
anything with them.
I get
They
what
don't
you're
even do
saying,
anything with
but
them.
it's just like what you were talking about, and Lamb. We spoke about this with the Bucks, with AB going to the Bucks. Even if he doesn't do anything, but just run, just
Yeah,
be a
it's amazing.
decoy, just be out there. It causes that defense to pay attention. They got to pay attention to him because the
True.
minute that they don't, that's a touchdown.
Yep.
So
True.
when you take a player like Odell Beckham, whether or not he's put up the numbers, but he's earned the respect that people look to him as an elite wide receiver, whether or not he's lived up to it or not, they still think of that, and you get that off the table. You're a one-trick pony. Like ain't nobody scared of you. Who you gonna throw
Yeah.
it to? that our cornerbacks can't stick.
Right.
It becomes one of those, and it's like at that point you just hope that your quarterback can make it through the rest of the season because the blitzes are coming. They're gonna throw everything but the kitchen sink. So I don't really expect much from them until you know latter seasons when they can get healthy and get everybody back and maybe add some additions. With offensive, defensive, get more solid. We'll have to see what they do in the off season. That's really gonna speak volumes as to where they see themselves.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody expected the Houston Texans to win this football game. I know I didn't. I was like, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, I'll take that all day.
Yep.
All day. All day.
This
All
next
freaking
game was probably one of the two best games of the week, honestly. and it was kind of surprising considering the matchup between the Washington football team and the Lions. But the way that Washington came down the field and scored twice basically to get the lead, and then in 3 plays in 16 seconds, Stafford came down the field, got him in field goal range, and Prater hit a 59-yarder to win the game. And it was like, wow. And Stafford was questionable going into this game because he was on the COVID list, even though he didn't have a positive test. And
Yeah, and
they, they, they,
Galladay was out.
yeah, Galladay was out. Marvin Jones ended up going off with 100 yards receiving, and Swift almost had 100 yards on the rushing game, too. Alex Smith, though, on the other side, had himself a game, guys. Great to see Alex Smith come out in his first starts in, what, 2.5 years now? And he threw the ball for almost 55 times for almost 400 yards and almost got himself a W. So big props to that dude for going out there and coming back. Definitely deserves comeback play of the year no matter what. Like if it's not giving it to him, there's something wrong. Like he already hands down deserves it by already coming back and being on the field. Next game was fairly interesting too, actually. The Jaguars kept it fairly close against the Packers in this one, and I couldn't figure out how because they still didn't have Gardner Minshew, and Aaron Rodgers still had himself a day. He had passed for 330 yards and a couple of scores, but the Packers struggled in this one, and it's heavily due to their. Unfortunately, it's heavily due to their defense. They're giving up too many big
None.
plays. They have no defense right now, guys. None. Um, it's been interesting for the Packers, and when they posted the power rankings, they had the Packers at the number 4 spot this morning. And I was like, how? I was
Ugh.
like, how can you have the Packers in
No
the top
freaking
five
way.
right now? Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I completely disagree with the Packers being in the top five. Completely disagree with it. But the Packers been struggling, and it's been all due to their defense, none due to their offense, basically. Besides one game, they could have moved the ball one game, and they ended up getting smashed. But other than that, it's been mainly their defense, and I'm pretty sure both of you guys can agree to that on pretty much all occasions.
Yep. I mean, the team that was supposed to win won, but the Jaguars are putting together a little squad.
All
You know what I
right, give
mean?
me one
Putting
sec.
together a little squad.
Hyde is getting his snacks, chat.
He's going to use the restroom. Wash your hands before you
Nah,
come
you
back,
remember he
Hyde.
ordered his snacks right before, too. I want to say his
True that.
snacks might have got here, too.
Some
um,
snacks.
this next one, guys, kind of surprised me. I wouldn't have picked this game whatsoever, but the Giants ended up manhandling the Philadelphia Eagles. And there's been questions on whether or not if the Eagles should go to Jalen Hurts or not. And I honestly think they should. I mean, they're 3-5. They're barely holding on to the division right now. Um, you've seen the Miami Dolphins go to Tua when they've had a winning record. So I mean, why not give Jalen Hurts a game or two to see what he's got and see what he's made of? I mean, you have the division right now. You shouldn't lose the division. Um, why not give him a couple of games and see what he's got? And if worse comes to worst, and you guys end up losing the division, then so be it. Um, I don't know if you agree with it or not, Lan, because I know you are a Carson Wentz fan, but this game was ugly for the Eagles, all around.
Going very balanced view and opinion on Carson Wentz. I don't care who wins or who loses in the NFC least because they're all terrible. But If we're gonna have a conversation about Carson Wentz, it must be said that when he first came into the league and his team was healthy, a healthy Zach Ertz, a healthy Alshon Jeffrey, a healthy Nelson Aguilar, a healthy Deshaun Jackson,
Both of his
he
tight ends
was
are
a
hurt actually, because Dallas Goedert's out too.
yep. When his whole team was healthy before he got injured when he first came into the league, he was in the MVP discussion. That's what kind of quarterback Carson Wentz is if he has the talent around him. So you strip away Deshaun Jackson, strip away Zach Ertz, strip away Aguilar, who's not even on the same team. You strip away Alshon Jeffrey. And what do you have? You have a quarterback with no tools around him. Exactly what we're seeing with Sam Darnold in New York,
Yeah, I
which
told
is
you this was
exactly what
snake.
we've seen with which is exactly what we've seen with other quarterbacks in the league. As soon as they get drafted to the worst teams in the league and they have no weapons around them. Now, he has to play better on third down. I don't even think that's a question. He has to play better on third down. There's no reason with a guy that has that much NFL experience should be making some of the throws that he's making. That's the same exact way I feel about Jimmy G. There's no way any quarterback with that kind of experience should be making some of those throws, should be attempting some of the throws that they're throwing. But I am not ready to give up on Carson Wentz. Hey, I see you there. Yeah, I want some haters.
I got
I
some
do.
ice cream in the freezer too. You making me want to go get it, man.
Hey, what's a
But
sports
yeah,
cast without
Carson
some
Wentz.
ice cream, bro?
I'm not
Just
ready to
saying.
give up on Carson Wentz. If he had Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Zach Ertz, and Godard, it'd be a different game. It would be a different game. It just would.
I agree.
But he
I
has
just
progressed, and he is tied for I think the worst quarterback in the league right now. But name
yes,
one offensive weapon besides a running back that Carson Wentz has. Name one offensive weapon.
it's hard.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He
He
does
doesn't have
have
that.
that
So I
one
don't
kid
blame him.
actually, that Fulmar kid. He has been showing out for him the last few weeks. So I mean, you can't throw him into the consideration. But other than that, there's really nobody.
But for marquee players though, like who we're who we're finding out is an actual decent quarterback is Daniel Jones on the other side of that. He
Yeah,
doesn't have
that
Odell Beckham
48
Jr.
yard run that he went off for was impressive. The little shimmy juke that he threw off, and then when he took off after that, I was like, oh wow, like there he
Hmm.
goes.
So we're finding out that that guy doesn't he's not the most talented quarterback, but he's showing more resolve and making smarter quarterback decisions than Carson Wentz is right now. But I do want to say, I mean, the only guy Daniel Jones has is Golden Tate and Evan Ingram. And come on, Evan Ingram hasn't been putting up numbers for like 2 years. And Golden Tate, I mean, he's not going to get you 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. You know what I mean? He's Golden Tate. He's way past his prime. But Carson Wentz doesn't even have a Golden Tate right now. He
Right.
doesn't even have an Evan Ingram right now at all. And I think everyone is being a little too hard. And I mean, everyone like Fox Sports One, ESPN Radio, I think they're being a little too hard on Carson Wentz because we see what he could do with just one good receiver and one decent tight end. Give him a good receiver and a decent tight end, and you'll see a different Carson Wentz. You'll see him regress back to that MVP candidate that he was when he had a healthy Zach Ertz and a healthy Alshon Jeffrey and a healthy Deshaun Jackson. He was in the MVP discussion. And LeBron James needed Anthony Davis, right? I'm saying
No,
when
he just
LeBron
wanted
was
them.
falling off, Anthony
And no.
picked it up, bro.
He
He
didn't need
needed him,
them.
bro. He
He
needed
didn't need them,
no.
but he wanted
Without
them.
Anthony Davis, they don't win the championship against Miami, bro. Without AD, they don't beat the Miami Heat. Sorry. Love LeBron, bro. I think he is King James. I think he has the best basketball, the second best basketball sneakers I've ever seen in my entire life. But he doesn't win that championship without Anthony Davis. Not this year. Nope.
Could have had Kawhi on this team.
This is true.
I'm saying if it was just LeBron with no other superstar, he doesn't win this year. Jimmy Butler is
Yeah,
younger
I
and more
mean,
hungry. Out of pure hunger, Jimmy Butler would have got that if AD wasn't there. But how you gonna stop LeBron and AD?
Right.
How you gonna stop both of them, man?
I mean,
You ain't.
I can I can give you that because I mean they what was it last season they were number 4 in the West before he got hurt, and it was a ragtag team of talent. So I mean I can definitely give you that because it would take two superstars to get them over the hump in the West
Correct.
normally,
Correct.
and
Right.
normally they don't need two superstars to get through the East because the East normally isn't that formidable. But I mean, when you got young legs and a hungry coach that has seen everything, I mean,
Yeah.
strange things start to happen, man.
This next game was
But
pretty much. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, but just looking at it subjectively, if he didn't come and let's say because remember everything that everything that Magic Johnson said was going to happen is what happened, and he did say that they were going to get at least one star.
Right.
So if they did not get AD, there is a high possibility, high chance that they did end up getting a Kawhi Leonard. And in that situation where you have Kawhi and you have LeBron, you could end up with the same result.
That's true.
No, they would have won in shorter amount of games. If it was
Yeah,
Kawhi and
right,
LeBron,
right. This is true. This is true.
Yeah, yeah.
it would have been quicker.
It
It
would have
might
been a
have been
4-0 series if it was Kawhi and LeBron.
for sure, for sure.
This next game was pretty much foreseen the way it was going to be seen, especially without Christian McCaffrey. And the Bucks were in a comeback statement game too because they got throttled the week before against the Saints, 38-3. And it was also Tom Brady's worst career loss that he's ever had as well in his 20 years of playing football.
Can we count this game?
Yeah,
No, I'm not even joking. I'm being so serious right now. Can we count this game? Because with the injuries that we see on Carolina, them pretty much being in a rebuilding year, everybody is celebrating, oh, they dropped 46 on the Panthers. Well, the Panthers don't have their best tool. They don't have Christian McCaffrey out there trying to run over that
and
defense.
they don't have a trustable quarterback.
Exactly. So they're in a rebuilding. So like, yeah, it was good for y'all to get y'all legs, but I mean, this ain't the same when y'all beat up on the Raiders, who was beating up on the Chiefs and good teams, and then you come and smack them. It's not the same. So I don't.
Hiatus.
Yeah.
I politely disagree. And remember, everything that I'm about to say is coming from a Dallas Cowboys fan. As
That's
y'all know,
terrible.
I make no excuses. I make no excuses. I'm a fan of the second worst team in the league. Our winning seasons are 8-8. Okay, those are our winning seasons.
That's tough. That is real tough.
That is tough.
Yeah, it's real talk, bro. Yeah, it's real tough, and
Compared
it's
to
real
what
talk.
I'm used to, yeah, that's rough.
Dallas are 8-8, bro. That's a winning season for us.
I
So,
probably would. If
here's
I
what
was
I'm
you, I
gonna say.
probably wouldn't even said that. But okay,
Yeah,
that happened.
well, I just have to set the premise. I don't make. I'm a sports fanatic. I am a sports analyst. All right. So I'm gonna give you my true, honest sports opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Part of being a good football team is having depth, right, Melby?
Big time.
It's having depth in the NFL, just like in the NBA. You have to plan. Your best players are going to get injured.
Mm-hmm.
The Dallas Cowboys have never had a plan for that. Ever.
Gotcha.
If a marquee player gets out, that's it. The whole season's lost.
Yeah,
Carolina is built the exact same way. If the
Yeah.
best player is out, the whole season is lost. There is no depth. There is no next man up. The New England Patriots play next man up.
Yep. Why do you
The
think
fuck,
we saw
the
us
New
make
Orleans
so
Saints.
many weird trades throughout the seasons and giving our 5, 6, 7 round picks and consolidation picks away for bits and pieces
Yep,
players for just in case main players do get hurt? Because boom, plug and
yep.
play, dude's ready to go, and it was like a no hit miss piece that like
New Orleans
it
Saints
was
as
a fit
well.
in.
New Orleans Saints as well. If Alvin Kamara's out, Latavius Murray will run through your soul.
Okay, so do
And
we
Saints are the
count it?
exact same way. Won all
So do
those
we
games.
count it? You ain't answer my
Yeah,
question.
we counted.
That's okay.
Sorry. They should have a better plan. Just like the Dallas Cowboys should have a better plan.
All right.
Just like the
So
New York Jets should have a better plan.
all I'm
Yep.
saying is, do you think the celebration for that win is justified?
Speaking of that celebration, they got fined up the ass for that celebration too.
Hmm. I'm
I
just
think that
asking.
celebration. I think the celebration and the butt whooping they put on the Panthers was 0% about the Panthers and 100% about ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Fox Sports One, Calvin Carr, and all the big mouth sportscasters and analysts talking trash about the Bucks, talking trash about the coaching staff, talking trash about Tom Brady. That was for them. The Tampa Bay Bucks have never given a crap about the Carolina Panthers. Okay, they don't care about them. Tom Brady doesn't care. Tom Brady
Look, hold
cares
on,
about a
hold,
few
whoa,
people.
whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not get disrespectful because they didn't have to care because we were spanking their behind. So,
Exactly.
so yeah,
Exactly.
because they
That's
never had a
exactly
leg up
correct.
on us.
That's exactly correct. When
This is the
when Tom
reason.
Brady was
But you
when
can't. All
Tom
right.
Brady was a part of the New England Patriots, the Jets didn't give a damn about the New England Patriots
So
because they
lamb.
couldn't. They can't do
So
nothing about
lamb.
it.
So lamb.
Remnants of the butt fumble.
I got two questions. I got two questions for you then how can you say that you don't respect the people that beat the Patriots now because the Patriots are not what they were? And then how do you then say you don't celebrate the ones that beat the Cowboys because we know they're tanking? Like Carolina is no
The Panthers
exception.
are tanking.
This is a down season. There was no aspects of them winning anything this season.
Y'all aren't tanking. Y'all are not tanking. Y'all are still winning games.
We were not tanking, but there was no indication that we were going to the playoffs. We were just trying to make the best of a tumultuous offseason. That's it.
Let me tell you something. When you have Christian McCaffrey healthy,
We
you will make the
don't.
playoffs.
We don't.
You
We
don't
don't.
now,
And
but at the beginning of the
and
season,
we won't
Nah,
because
they didn't
they're
even really
using
have
him
him at
too
the beginning
much.
of the season though either. He got hurt in the first game of the season.
exactly.
He was only viable when we had that double threat of a Cam Newton who can also run and him so he doesn't have to share the load. And they didn't really understand why he was able to excel because it wasn't all on him to run the ball. Teddy Bridgewater is not that guy. He's just not. He's not that guy. So now all of that weight is on Christian McCaffrey. And whenever you put so much weight and emphasis on your running back, that's when they start having radiator leaks and the carburetor don't work that well and the knees start getting given out. Like that's when injuries set in. You can't overdo it.
Here's the thing: in that Tampa Bay game, going back to the initial statement, that celebration was against the media, who was just trashing Tom Brady and trashing the Bucks and their
But
decision
it was
making about running the
justified
ball.
though. But it was justified
It
though
was
because he looked like trash. He did. It's just like when we were
yeah,
talking
but
about Aaron Rodgers and those 5 points that he put up. Like he looked like trash. He looked like he was disheveled, didn't know what
yeah.
he was doing. And this is a Hall
Here's
of
the difference,
Famer.
though. Here's the difference, though. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers did not run the ball only 4 times. They just couldn't get anything going. They just couldn't get anything going. Anything going. Not running, not screens, not slants. If you can't get a slant going in the NFL, what the hell? You can't get a slant going?
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady and the Bucks, they just had no. I don't know what. I honestly, I can't tell you what they were thinking. I can't tell you how much miscommunication that shows that team actually has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That no one said, "Hey, run the freaking football." No one. No one stopped Tom Brady. No one stopped the offensive coordinator. No one even from the defense went over to the head coach and said, "Hey, coach, not even the special teams coach. Can
No.
a water boy, can a cheerleader, can a mascot,
All
can
right. All
someone
right.
say, hey, what?"
So then I got another question for you, Lamb, because the same, or because plays were being called by Tom Brady, and they
Yep,
were letting him run the offense. Now, this is the
yep.
same Tom Brady that we praised him for taking the initiative and doing this in previous games that they won. But in the last couple games where they got smacked, it's like, well, why is he calling plays? Because he's that guy. He's proven himself to be that guy to be able to pick. So like, you got to pick your poison. Like, I'm not gonna praise you when you win because you do it, and then talk crazy about you if you do the same thing, but it caused you to take a L. Like, if y'all didn't make any adjustments, you didn't make any adjustments. But I just don't. I understand what you're saying in regards to them celebrating for the media, but even in that, like that doesn't really make any sense because you're playing the Carolina Panthers. Like, you're not playing the Chiefs, which you do have on your season. Now, if you can smash the Chiefs 40 something to 20 or 17, then yeah, celebrate all you want. That's the
Right.
defending champions. Like, yes, you achieved something. You ain't achieved nothing by beating the Panthers when you're two down to the Saints in your division.
Yeah, swept by the Saints. The Saints swept,
Exactly. Exactly. Not even
totally
close. None
swept.
of those games were close.
Big
No.
broom, big brooms.
So if
And the way the
the
Saints
downside,
celebrated after that game too, they like I said, the whole team got fined.
I'm just
Remember,
saying, like, you gotta think about
let me pull
certain things
Bible
that you
because
do.
hiatus. You're
Oh, yeah.
you're the one who believes that losses linger. You thought the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers was going to lose against the Houston Texans after that 5-point blowout game, and I told you that they weren't because it's freaking Aaron Rodgers. They were no longer thinking about that football game. They stopped thinking about that football game as soon as Monday happened. He
which is a
doesn't.
sta-
You cannot be
which is a
a goat
statement
and a champion like Tom Brady and dwell on that.
that you made. And remember, I did clarify myself and said if there was an opportunity to take down that elite quarterback, it would be after a devastating loss. That gives you your best opportunity. Like, they're already down. They're already down, so they're already questioning themselves. They're already second guessing. That's your best opportunity to punch them in the mouth. That team didn't do it, so they got smacked. But then look at what happened when they played the Vikings. They got ran all over, and there was nothing they could do. So like, it just depends on who they're playing. It depends on the strategies in which they uses, and if that team shows up to play or not.
All for celebrations. That's just me. I don't care. I don't care if I race like in my old neighborhood where I used to live before I moved over here. I knew all the dads and all the parents of all the kids, and we would all be outside. Sometimes the adults
All
would
right.
play the kids in basketball or football or whatever, and the kids would be like, "We want to race," and I line them up from speed bump to speed bump, and I gloat. Okay, I don't care if the kid is 11, 17. I don't care if it's another dad out there.
But
Will
you're
gloat in their
you're
face.
from Texas, and everything is bigger in Texas. You know that saying that y'all have
Big fact.
about Texas.
The
All
dad.
right, so like, yeah, that like it's integrate. It's inside of your DNA to gloat. So all I'm gonna say is, I hope everybody's watching. Who does the Dallas Cowboys play next?
Who cares?
Can I can I can I get that ticker?
So,
Who do they play next?
I got you. They're going to
I
be
want to say it's
playing
a divisional game if I remember
Vikings.
right. Oh,
Oh,
never
All
mind.
right, so
no, it's the
so
Vikings.
so they're
Ugh.
playing the Minnesota Vikings. So
Oh,
Minnesota Vikings, the team, Minnesota Viking
can I get a
football team.
42-cent?
I know that you guys are watching this podcast. I got to steal this from Lamb. You are watching this podcast.
Yep.
Give
When
Dalvin
you
Cook the football.
when you smack the Dallas Cowboys, you celebrate to the highest extent. You don't let one dance move linger. You give it your all. Like once y'all smack them, you get on that dance floor and y'all do y'all two-step, y'all do y'all hustle, y'all do it all. Just do it big. Do it big after you
Yep.
win that game. Because as Lamb said, celebrating is necessary. That's what you do when you
It
smash
is.
a team. And it's like, come
That's
on, bro.
right.
Like you would not respect the Vikings if they beat your team and then celebrate it. It's like we're taking. That's literally what you would say.
See,
That's they were taking.
I'm different, bro. Like when I get smashed in trials, I don't try to report people or claim that they were cheating or something. Just get pissed off and I just want to play better. But if I beat someone who I know is better than me, oh my gosh, I will never stop gloating. I'll mention it 2 years later, bro. I promise you. I promise you. I will never forget the one time that I beat someone who was actually better than me. I don't believe in over celebration against
Mm-hmm.
someone that you're better than. I believe in celebration against any victory. I think in life as humans, any win we can get on this horrible planet in this civil war torn country, we should celebrate.
I get.
I don't
I
even bag in
listen.
Crucible, but I
Listen.
don't even
I'll
bag
give
in
you
Crucible.
that. I'll give you that. I mean, if you want to do a simple celebration, all I'm saying is to go out and just to give it 110, like you won a Super Bowl, like you just got a ring on a team that ain't even gonna see the playoffs. They ain't even gonna see the playoffs. Like, come on, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are
Chiefs,
you doing?
when they beat the Jets, and they're all, man, I got that swag.
Right?
I was like, really, bro? Y'all swag surfing
Right?
on the Jets?
Come
What?
on, man.
Oh man.
I see your point, hiatus. I get your point because
It's
that was
just like
ridiculous.
I can't give you that. I need that same energy when your team gets smacked up to be out there doing your two step because you coming back the next week. I just need that same energy, bro.
Hey, facts, man. I accepted years ago that the Cowboys weren't going to win a Super Bowl anytime soon. I ain't worried about it.
I mean,
Until Jerry Jones passes away, I do not
yeah,
expect the Dallas Cowboys to have a Super Bowl. 'Cause if you look,
I
if
wouldn't
you
not
look
expect a
lying.
at
Super
all the
Bowl even
teams,
after that, because Stephen Jones
y'all
isn't
look at
gonna lead him
if
after that either.
yeah, true that. Let's hope that it's like let's hope that we can implant Inception. Remember the movie Inception?
mm-hmm.
And try to implant in Stephen Jones' head that he needs his father's not going to respect him if he just continues down the same path and he needs to do something totally different. So we need to incept that into Stephen Jones' head. But if you look at all the NFL teams' rosters, you'd be hard pressed outside of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles on paper to find a better built team offensively and defensively and special teams on paper than the Dallas Cowboys.
On
Execution is a
paper.
different story. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Execution is a different story
Mm-hmm.
because the Buffalo Bills, as good as they are, they don't look like they're stacked on paper, but oh man, look at the execution. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Look at the execution.
Listen,
I wouldn't
I
take Stephon Diggs amongst any 10 wide receivers in the NFL, but he's playing like he's the best wide receiver in the NFL
He's
right now.
playing good right
Lamb,
now.
I want to
Execution.
say that the Buffalo Bills heard your down talk towards them and took it
Still
as
trash.
personal
Yep.
motivation and really got their stuff together because they have been on a tear. Now they did lose to the Cardinals.
AFC.
That was
They did lose to the
such
Cardinals,
a good
but
game.
they look a lot better than they did before. They actually look like they would make it to the playoffs. I still believe that if they do, that cornerback that we will not name should not play. Should not play. Should not be a part of it. But I mean, they definitely look better, man. They definitely look better. I gotta give props
We
where props is
realized
due.
though that the Buffalo Bills look above average every season.
This is true. And
They
then
look above average every season.
they
Yep.
eventually
Guess
do.
what? The Detroit Lions look above average on paper every single season, from defense to offense. They even do draft picks kind of well. Making any crazy first round draft pick busts in Detroit, but there's no execution. They get figured out and they can't make midseason adjustments. You have in-game adjustments, you have halftime adjustments, and then you have mid-season adjustments. We're seeing right now that there are teams that are incapable of making mid-season adjustments, and they're about to go on some serious losing streaks. 2 in a row,
This is
3 in a
true.
row, 4 in a row, because they cannot adjust mid-season. The teams that are great at adjusting on the fly in mid-season are the New Orleans Saints, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or the Los Angeles Rams. Look at the turnaround from the New England Patriots. Hey, big props. I don't know. I think there was one of y'all, I don't remember who it is, but one of y'all did put the Baltimore Raisins in the Raisins. No, I'm the
Raisins.
Baltimore Raisins, ladies and gentlemen.
Them raisins.
One
Gotta
of
watch
y'all-
out for them
One of y'all
raisins.
1 week put the Baltimore Ravens in your top 5 or top 3, and never a good choice, bro. Lamar Jackson, he's gonna get you some wins, but he's not that Super Bowl
I
guy.
think that
He's
was a
bootleg Cam
long
Newton.
time ago.
That was
Lamb.
like the
That
first
was
or
a
second week
long
or something
time
like
ago.
Still,
Listen, Lamb reached all the
did,
way
though?
back. He
that.
went
Who never
he
did,
went
though?
look, he went all the way back to Genesis. He went.
Who never did, though?
He did pick
I
Baltimore.
never did.
Oh
Who
my
never
god.
put them in their power rankings?
It's like
Who
almost
never
every
put them in
week
their
when he
power
brings
rankings?
up you picking Cleveland that week.
Yeah, man. Never let me live it down, man.
Hey, hiatus. I picked
Yeah.
Cleveland 1 week though too when they lost, so it's all
So
good.
yeah, you felt it.
I didn't pick them against the
think-
Pittsburgh Steelers though.
I think I
Hey.
did. I did mess with you though. No, you didn't.
Melvin, you
I
remember
did.
that?
Oh, I
Melvin,
do. I do.
we gave him 42 opportunities
Mm-hmm.
against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Speaking
I
of
was
ass
stubborn-
whippings, guys, this next
Stubborn
game
as all
was
get
that
out.
way,
I picked them
too.
against the Bengals, bro. I picked them against the Bengals, bro. Not the freaking.
This next game was an ass whooping too. Now that we're talking about it, the Raiders Broncos. The Raiders walked all over the Broncos in this game, in a divisional game, and
Was that a surprise, Melby?
it wasn't, because I knew Josh Jacobs was gonna get the ball and he was just gonna go off in this game, and that's exactly what happened. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and that's literally all they needed to win this game was Josh Jacobs.
So, I'm glad you bring up this game because we were also talking about celebration. And the last time the Broncos won, COVID-19 became a thing because they partied like it was 1991. And they have not seen a W since that party.
They haven't.
I'm just saying.
They haven't.
I'm just saying. Sometimes it can be a negative, man. You gotta enjoy the moment, but don't do too much.
Oh, that's hilarious. So this next game featured two top 10 quarterbacks that were drafted in this past year's draft, between Herbert and Tua. Turned out to be a hell of a game, actually. This game was really good. Herbert had himself a decent game. He didn't pass for 200 yards, but he kept the Chargers within the game at least. But Tua was too much for the Chargers in this game, honestly. Tua was on point in this game. Tua's on a 3-game win streak since coming into the NFL. His first week was fairly shaky.
It's on a 3-game win streak, not Tua. They were on a win streak before Tua came in. It's not.
Well, I'm saying that he's on a 3-game win streak since coming in. Tua himself was on a 3-game win streak.
He's doing a good job at not being horrible, which is what everyone assumed that he would be trash because he's short, but he's doing all right.
He's very good mobile and throwing the ball on the move. I will give him that.
Well, let's see him against a good team. Let's see him. Well, let's see him against a better than good team. Because so far we've seen him against average, middle of the road teams. Until I see him take on a New Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you know what I mean? Let's see him against a marquee team.
He has first a
You know what I'm
marquee
saying?
team. He beat the Rams 2 weeks ago, and he beat the Cardinals last week.
They're not a mark.
Hmm.
The
That
Cardinals.
those
Huh?
are
So
yeah.
Huh?
you're putting the Cardinals.
You're
and
saying
Rams
your
at
Rams that
marquee?
you've been raving about aren't a marquee
I was
team?
about to say. I know that
Okay,
I
hold
know
on.
that wasn't
Hold on.
about to
Here we
come out
go.
his mouth.
Here comes the out of
Mm-mm.
context, overblown exaggeration. Slam.
My dog is like shocking everything. It's so dry in here. Cora, go away.
I have said about the Rams is they are the most balanced football team in the NFL. Good offense, good defense. And they have the best defensive player in the NFL. They don't even have a top 10 best offensive player in the NBA in the NVL in the NFL. They're a team.
You got
They're
to
a
get them.
team. I
You got to
never
get
said
it
they're a
together,
marquee
bro.
team. Marquee team is Pittsburgh Steelers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kansas City Chiefs, New Orleans Saints. I consider those well, not even the Saints now because they'll be without Drew Brees. But you know what I mean? Like, I mean, the best player on the Rams is Aaron Donald. We're not going to put Jared Goff up there talking about Tom Brady and freaking Patrick Mahomes. Holmes. You know what I'm saying? The
No, but you can put
Rams would have
Jalen
always
Ramsey up there the way he played against DK Metcalf.
balanced on offense. They're balanced on defense.
Are they
Balanced
in your
football
top
team.
five?
Absolutely, the Rams are in my top 5 power ranking. Absolutely,
He don't believe
they're
that.
good.
He don't believe
What?
that.
They just beat the Seattle Seahawks, who
He
y'all
don't
said
believe that.
last podcast that I was on are better than the Rams. Better quarterback, better offensive weapons than the Rams. Y'all's words. How about
Still
them
feel that
Rams?
way.
How
You
about that?
also have to look at the factor that Seattle was without 3 of their main running backs at the same time too. They were pretty.
Their running backs are always injured. Their running backs are injured every game. Problem. There's only one problem with the Seattle
Russell
Seahawks. There's only
Wilson
one
was their
problem.
main rusher that game with 60 yards.
There's only one problem with the Seattle Seahawks. No depth. We talked about with the Dallas Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. The team is now going to do exactly what the Rams have been doing. They're going to be like, you know what? Over DK Metcalf, what the hell is Russell Wilson going to do? What's he going to do?
He still got Tyler Lockett.
How many 3-touchdown games can Tyler Lockett have? He's not going to carry them to wins like that.
He can have plenty. He's shown it in his first few years of his career.
He's shown it once. He's shown it once.
But
No running
he
back
can
with
go
all
off
your
for
running
200
backs.
yards anytime he wants to at the same time too.
They have no pass rush. None. They're not getting the quarterbacks at all. The defense is atrocious. Okay? Their defense is atrocious. And offensive juggernauts do not dominate championship games. They just don't. The San Francisco 49ers had one of the best defenses I've ever seen in the NFL, bro. They still lost. Seattle Seahawks, when they had their good defense, when they had the Legion of Boom, that's when they won the championship. Not when they had a huge Julio Jones type player. That's not when they won. And Jimmy Garoppolo ain't no damn Russell Wilson. If Jimmy Garoppolo put Russell Wilson on the San Francisco 49ers last year, and they beat Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl. With that defense,
by far.
give Russell Wilson that defense. It's not even close.
Give him those offensive weapons too. You can feed George Kittle all day long.
Imagine if Russell Wilson had a freaking Evan Ingram, bro, or a Zach Ertz. Please give that man a tight end. Somebody.
One day.
What are they building? Can someone answer me that question? What the hell is Seattle building? Drafting D linemen.
An
They're not
offensive
drafting
juggernaut,
linebackers.
that's about it.
it's not going to win championship.
Nope.
I don't know what they're
Their
doing. Bro.
defense has gone down the drain the last few years.
Yeah. You know who's building? Is the Raiders.
Oh yeah,
They're making
Raiders are
amazing
going to
draft
be
picks.
stacked here in a couple of years.
Bro, in 2 years, give the Raiders 2 more years and they're in the Super Bowl. 2 more years and they're in the Super Bowl. 2 more.
This next game was probably another one that was game of the week between the Bills and the Cardinals. We were just touching up on that one here a little bit. But that game was absolutely amazing. Bills ended up losing this game, but DeAndre Hopkins ended up mossing 3 people at the end of this football game for a touchdown. You got to give props to Kyler Murray on this play, though, too, at the same time, because he avoided a sack, juked the dude out, threw it on the move, like 50 yards down the field, and then got it into a position to where DeAndre Hopkins was able to make that catch. Brought me back to memories when Cora, go away, boo. You're dry and you're shocking the screen. But it brought me back to memories of Calvin Johnson when he did the same thing on the Cincinnati Bengals back when Calvin Johnson was playing. And it was great to see. I haven't seen something that great of a catch since back in those days. It was pretty amazing to see.
Do you remember all those Hail Marys that Aaron Rodgers would throw?
Ridiculous Hail Marys.
Couldn't That's what that looked like, man. It was an amazing play. D-Hop, I believe, who was it? I think it was Tyreek Hill who tweeted on Twitter. He was like, damn, D-Hop, those men have families. They got to eat too or something like that. I was like, oh, man.
Well, D-Hop after the game, too, was he brought it into an NBA form. He's like basically the play was brought down to where you see people in the NBA and they're like doing this at the top of their head and they're about to yam on somebody, and D-Hop's like, yeah, it's basically exactly what I did.
Yep.
It was funny. It was great to see. That was such an amazing play. Such an amazing play. Yes, Clemson GOAT, CB. He is a Clemson GOAT. This next game has some implications for the next few weeks because we don't know if we're going to see Drew Brees for maybe even not until the playoffs, depending on how severe his fractured ribs and punctured lung is. He's supposed to get a second opinion on that to see how long exactly he is going to be out for. But it's not looking good for him. He's got multiple fractures on both sides, and he's got a punctured lung. Not easy to come by, and yeah, you hate to see it because he basically came back this year and re-signed to have one more shot of his Super Bowl. And with him now being out, and then Michael Thomas was out for the majority of the year, and just now getting him back, I still don't think he's 100%. And that's his best player on the team besides Alvin Kamara. It's been unfortunate to see for them, and it kind of sucks. Poor stuff.
Now I know this is terrible.
That didn't even look that bad. That tackle didn't even look that bad. If I was on the team, I would have said, "Drew, get up, get up."
Now
Drew.
listen,
Didn't even get tackled.
I know this is terrible because it's an injury. But I've been wanting Drew Brees to retire for years because he has plagued my Panthers. So there's a small, very small part of me that's like, yes, this is the moment he's going to exit. Because, oh my gosh, man. When he does,
you were ready for that.
Listen, when he does, he is going to get his Hall of Fame jacket. We are going to talk about the accolades, the numbers that this man has put up, the defenses that he has shredded. I do not think that Drew Brees gets the credit that he deserves because that man is a beast.
I think he gets too much. He gets too much credit.
I don't think he gets enough. They talk about Aaron Rodgers. They talk about
one Super Bowl.
Oh man, here we go. I mean, according
If
to you,
championships don't matter, why is there
according to
sport?
you, Eli Manning is
Championships
the
don't
greatest
matter, why is
quarterback
there sport?
ever because he has never lost. So, I mean, there's that. Um,
If
so
championships don't matter,
it's not
hiatus,
just
hiatus.
it's
No,
not
no,
just
hiatus.
about
Let me
championships
ask you
though.
this. Let me ask you this, hiatus.
Hmm.
In let's say you play D2, right? So let's say in Trials of Osiris, we're gonna relate everything back to D2 because we're all guardians, guardian. All right. So let's say in Trials of Osiris,
Uh huh.
would you rather have career a 2.0 KDA or have been flawless at least twice?
I'll take the KD.
Yeah, I'll take the KD.
Y'all are just saying that because it's me.
Nah,
Y'all would rather have better stats in the
I could
championship?
care less
Y'all are
about the
saying right
flawless.
I
now
mean,
on
I'd
stream,
rather
you'd
take the
rather
Right.
have
KD.
no, hold on. You'd say right now that you'd rather never win a championship, but just look good on paper. That's what y'all are saying right now. You'd rather never win a championship. Never, you might make it to the big game, but you'd rather lose every time you make it to the big game. But your stats look good. So you'd
Yeah,
rather be
because you could
Charles
still say that
Barkley
you made it to the
than
big
Michael
game.
Jordan.
Okay, Charles
You'd rather be
Barkley.
Patrick Ewing.
Hold on,
No,
hold
you'd
on.
rather be
I
Patrick
can name
Ewing
them.
than LeBron
Patrick
James.
Ewing. Who else?
Charles
Sean Kemp.
Barkley, Karl Malone, John
Karl
Stockton,
Malone.
Sean Kemp,
John Stockton. Um, who
Reggie
else?
Miller.
Yeah. Now,
You'd rather be him?
will you not say that these are elite players?
No, they are. But I'm asking you.
Okay.
The debate
So
is
then
not
it
are they
doesn't
elite
matter.
players. The debate is
That,
would you
that is
rather
literally
have
the
a
debate. That's what I
championship?
was stating about Drew Brees. If he retires, we get to share in his accolades and acknowledge that he is an elite quarterback. They sleep on him too much.
Said he wasn't elite. Nobody said he wasn't elite. I'm asking you two because you said it once. Nobody said he wasn't elite. Anyone who says Drew Brees is not elite is insane and they don't know football, right? Anyone who says that. I've never said that. I would never say that. That would be a blatant lie and a disregard for football analytics. What I'm asking you two is put yourself in
I
the
would
game.
take the KD.
But you too? Melby, you too?
I'm still taking
You would
the
rather
KD,
not
man.
win a
I'm
championship?
taking the KD, man.
I've
don't
never
know.
won a
Y'all are- that's-
championship
y'all
in
are
my
not alpha
life,
males.
so
I'm sorry.
I'd rather take
I'm
the
sorry.
stats.
All I'm saying
Y'all aren't
is
competitors.
all
You're a
I'm saying
competitor, bro.
is all I'm saying is, and that's great. I commend you on being a competitor, but all I'm saying is Dwight Howard has a championship, and that does not make him elite because he did okay, but he wasn't the Dwight Howard in Orlando, but
Dwight
he got a
Howard
chip.
hasn't done anything since he's been with
But
Orlando.
it don't matter because championships matter.
I know.
So he does have a ring, and that's the only championship that he has.
Y'all were saying championships don't matter. You'd rather just take the stats.
I
Have
didn't
fun,
say that
Carmelo.
it. Yes.
LeBron James over
Oh
here. Have
yes,
fun,
I'm
Carmelo.
Carmelo. Yes, give me the money, baby. Give me the money.
Have fun,
Yeah,
Carmelo.
listen.
Have fun.
You're absolutely
No,
right. You're absolutely right, Lamb. I am Carmelo. Give me the money, la, in a New York suite, and I am good, bro.
You're what's wrong with sports right now, Hayes. That mindset. It's all about the money. There's no competitors. That's what's wrong with the NBA, bro.
Oh
Be a
man.
champion.
Oh
Be a
man.
champion, bro. That's what's wrong with sports. That's why I
But-
prefer NFL over NBA because
But-
NBA is just a whole bunch of the majority is just a whole bunch of young people who just want the contracts. They don't care. There's no competition like there used to be in the NBA. The NBA used to be fierce competition, fights every other game, threats, everything. They hated each other. They didn't hang out and vacation with each other in the off season, bro.
But that's
they didn't
not really the
join up
players'
with each other
fault.
to make super teams. They
That's
had
not the
loyalty
players'
and they
fault.
wanted to win with their squad, bro.
That's not the
what's
player.
wrong with
That's
sports
not the
today,
players'
is
fault
the
because
lack of competition.
I recall a man by the name of Allen
So
Iverson
bad.
who they literally made change his dress code, cover up his tattoos because they did not want him to be himself. And that was the start. When they started to change the mentality and made it more about the brand, then the players started to say, well, if it's all about the brand, then I'm going to be all about me. That wasn't a thing with Michael Jordan's. Back when Michael Jordan was in the league, when Charles Barkley was in the league, it was not about the brand; it was about the team.
Yep.
That is from the commissioner, from the head down. They changed that.
Competition. I'm talking
Right,
about
but
wanting to be the best. The reason
right,
why
but
Michael
if you're
Jordan
going to
Michael Jordan is,
use
and Kobe Bryant was who Kobe Bryant was is because they had the competitive edge, bro.
they
They
came,
had that
nah,
determination, the Mamba mentality.
nah, 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 nah,
I
nah,
thrive off of,
nah,
bro.
nah,
Yes,
nah,
yes,
nah,
yes, yes.
nah,
Kobe
nah,
Bryant's not going to
nah,
say,
nah,
hey,
nah.
Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James, let's go vacation together in Mexico. Kobe Bryant was training, bro. LeBron James is training in the offseason.
Wait. I'm
Who
sorry.
was it? Jimmy
Wait,
Butler. Jimmy Butler trains,
did
bro.
you
He won it.
vacation with
After
Kobe?
every win, Jimmy Butler's
Did you
looking at LeBron
vacation with
James saying,
Kobe?
you're in
Because
trouble,
if
bro.
I recall, looking at his memorial and them talking, there was a lot of vacations that he took with friends, foes, and other people. Now, when he got on that court, he put it down. He showed them who he was on the court, but there was a lot
Yeah,
of
I'm
off
I'm the
court.
only competitor on the podcast. I'm sorry.
There was a lot of no. I'm just saying you can't use the if you're going to use the basketball analogy, then you got to look at what happened in basketball to change the mentality. If you say that I am the
No,
what's
no.
wrong,
Only you can change your mentality. Hiatus. I can't convince you of anything unless you have
if
that
you run
desire to
if
want to
you run a
change.
company, if
Kobe
you run a
Bryant
company,
had his own
if
brand and
you
stayed with his
if
Mamba
you
mentality.
run a company, your mission, your brand is what it is. Nobody's going to change what your brand and your mission is. And they changed that for the players. You can't get upset at the players that decided
So
to be
you
just
agree.
like.
Hiatus, it actually sounds like we agree that the competition is no longer as competitive as it once was. It sounds like we
Right.
agree, actually.
We agree on that. We
Don't you
agree on
think
that.
that's a
We agree
problem?
on that fact. But at the same time, we have to identify the problem. It started when they started to change the characters and make them more focused on the brand instead of the team fundamentals. It's not about the team. Then we started getting where, oh, well, if you're tired, then you
It
can
depends on
load
your
management.
organization.
Remember, load management was
It depends on
never
your
a thing.
organization.
Never used to
It
be a
depends on your
thing.
organization because the San Antonio Spurs have never been like that.
Listen,
The Golden State Warriors aren't like that. It depends on your organization.
before that, when Jordan was in the league, was load management a thing?
Before LeBron James came into the league and left the Cavaliers the first time and got to Miami and came back is when load management first became a thing. So we're talking 2012, 2014-ish is when load management started taking effect.
I'm just pointing out all of the facts here, bro. Like there's been so much that has changed that mentality. The only reason that Kobe Bryant was as competitive as he was is the era in which he came in. He was able to ride behind Michael Jordan, who became like his mentor, to keep that competitive edge and fervor there. If he did not have Michael Jordan, Kobe could have been, because Kobe was all about his brand as well, could have easily have been a Carmelo Anthony, because remember when he came into the league, he was a ball hog. He did not pass.
JB Fox all the time in public. I'm sorry, that comment's funny. I get called that all the time, especially when I shave my beard, bro. That's funny. But that's what I'm saying, Stevie Gray. Kobe Bryant is just a different type of human being. He's overly competitive, just like Michael Jordan was. Kobe Bryant could never not be as competitive as he was. He has that the same thing that Reggie
we
Miller had, bro.
we would
I think the
never
problem
know that,
I
because he
think the
did have
problem
that influence with Michael where he could call Michael Jordan and say, "Mentor me, give me
I
that
think
that speech and
that just
keep
proves
me
that he
on the
had a
path."
drive.
On the,
Anybody could have called Michael. Call anybody you want. Anybody could call a veteran or great. But my
no,
thing is the
okay, no,
reason why
take it
I
back.
have
Take
a
hold up,
bigger
hold up,
problem with sports right
hold
now
up, Lamb,
is
take it back.
because
Not
there's this
anybody can call
mentality.
Michael Jordan.
I said, or any veteran, call Akeem Olajuwon, call any veteran and get
Nah, you
advice.
can't really. No,
Era.
Michael Jordan. If you're gonna say
Here's what I'm
we're
saying.
talking about competitive, the
I
ultimate
agree. It's
competitive.
very less competitive right now because people don't have that drive anymore. And that's what disappoints me about the NBA. And I understand the NBA is a little different because, before COVID, what is the season? 80 something games? Like, that's a
Yeah,
lot, right?
82.
It's hard
Yeah.
to stay competitive for that amount of games. Like, I'm sorry. You have 16 games. Yeah, you're playing your heart out. You know what I mean? Because 4 losses could knock you out of the playoffs. So I understand the NFL's different, but I just remember growing up watching super competitive sports, playing super competitive sports, bro. I
I
cling to players, and I know he's a cowboy, or was a cowboy. He's not anymore. But Des Bryant, and as much as I hate, you know how much I think Odell Beckham Jr. is is overrated, but I love
Mhm.
his passion. When you're throwing your helmet on the sideline, you're pissed off. You hate losing. You want to win. The worst thing that you can do on a sports team, if you've ever played anything in college or anything in high school, is be in a good mood, smiling, laughing, and joking while your team is getting swamped in the game. You get in trouble. And I'm seeing that. And I understand it's different in professional sports, right? That you're getting paid for and you do have a brand and there is marketing and all that stuff. But it's just disappointing that that mentality just kind of take over where people would rather have a better shooting percentage than an actual championship, where people would rather have a better kill death ratio than actually a flawless title. Like that just blows my mind. If I'm not going for the championship, if I'm not going for the title, then why am I in this? Why am I competing at all? Well, I use the D2 as a reference, right? Because we all just want.
Mhm.
Sometimes I just
Right.
go in to complete the bounties because I want a better summoner role, right? I'm not saying that. Oh my God, it's a world's tournament for $1 million. That'd be a different. That'd be a different. But in professional sports, we've all agreed and seen the change. How it's definitely, especially when it comes to the National Basketball Association, become less and less and less competitive. It happens in football too. DeMarcus Tank Lawrence with the Dallas Cowboys had the best season of almost any defensive lineman in the NFL, and then he got paid, and we haven't heard from him since.
Mhm.
Like it happens all the time, bro. It's so disappointing because they're like, I did what I had to do. I got my money. Now I'm just gonna relax. Oh, he doesn't want a ring, bro. He doesn't want a ring, but neither does Jerry Jones. Like there's so many competitors out there. Well, I wouldn't call them competitors. There's so many professional athletes out there who don't care about championship. And that, and you have the players who do care about championships who want to leave that organization. James Harden. That man wants a championship.
He wants out
And
so
the
bad,
reason
but
why
it's
he's
not gonna
requesting,
happen.
and Giannis wants a championship too. So they're pulling out all the stops. I know you're probably going to switch over to NBA, but they're pulling out all the stops trying to keep Giannis there. Trades have been made. Draft picks have been traded. You know what I mean?
I
Like they want Giannis
I'm
wants a
under the
championship.
impression
James Harden wants a championship.
I'm
Those are
under the
competitors.
impression that Giannis wants it a little bit way more than James Harden does.
I feel that
Um,
as well.
Yeah, I
because
think James Harden
Especially
wants more
Giannis just
respect as
seeing
the
his
top
brother
player in
get
the
a
league than a
championship
championship.
before
I
right,
he
agree.
did.
because I
Right place
mean
at the
it
right time.
the ultimate conversation when you win MVP and then you say you can't call me an MVP until I win a championship. That tells you the mentality of that player. That's not something that you would hear from a James Harden. He would just take
Is that what Giannis
he,
said?
yeah, he said, "Don't you cannot call me an MVP until I win a championship."
That's false. Who taught him that?
That's his
That's his
his mentality.
mentality. That's the way he grew up and
Doesn't
grews.
understand it. But he doesn't understand that if he was the most valuable player because if he wasn't on that team, they might not have won 7 games. Like he doesn't see that.
Right, but at the
What,
same time, if this is the second year in a row that you've won, MVP, but your team still gets smacked and got sent home, like what is there to celebrate?
Right.
This is the same
yeah,
thing.
but
This is the
that's
same thing that you're
the
talking about
problem.
with Kobe.
That's
How many
exactly
times
right
have
though,
they had that
because
conversation and he goes, "The job's not finished."
yeah, that's exactly right. Because hiatus, if you're on a baseball team and your team sucks without you, and they don't make it to the playoffs without you, or if you're injured, they lose every single game. You are the most valuable player on that team, but you're
Right.
not Michael Jordan. You're Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
But at the same
It
time,
makes
we're
sense why
talking
he's
about
the MVP
mentality.
and why they
So
can't get to a
so
championship.
this is the thing that I'm talking about. Mentalities. This is what we said. So I can respect the fact that he feels that I don't want to be recognized as an MVP without a championship. That's his competitive fervor. Now, if we take that away and go, well, no, you're the MVP because your team was great. Then, if he becomes more about the brand, then we go, you don't want to really win rings. You just want to be. So there,
Brand
that is
brand
it's
has
that
nothing to
it's
do
that
with it.
it's all about the brand. This is why they do what they
No,
do.
brand has nothing to do with it. Look, look, the reason why I said, and I said this on other sportscasts, I said the MVP should not go to LeBron or Anthony Davis, even though they have the best team in the NBA, because they have multiple all-stars on their team. If LeBron James is out, you still have AD. If AD's out, you still have LeBron.
But if you're looking at this era in
But
NBA
yeah, the
now, you
reason
have multiple teams with superstars and super teams, so it's kind of hard not to
and they
give one of
shouldn't win
those
MVP.
players an MVP, anyways.
Well, how do you
They will
exclude
always
them?
be
Because they
Giannis's.
still have to play up to their potential. Just
Because you're
because they
looking at
they are
overall
Giannis
too.
and
superstars,
James
that don't
Harden
mean that
did
You're
they're
that
gonna
looking
this
do.
at
season.
win loss ratio. You're looking at the team you're on at the same time on top of your overall stats. So if you got a team that's very well put together with a couple other superstars, but your stats are better than theirs and the rest of the leagues, and then your team is winning at the same time and at the top caliber at the NBA, then yeah, you're gonna get the MVP of the league, obviously.
You're not.
It's the same way of what
If
Giannis
you
has been doing the last 2 years. The Bucks have been the number one team
if
in the NBA record wise, and he's gotten MVP the last 2 years.
the MVP award goes to the player that means the most to their team. If Giannis had a good basketball team with depth and 3-point shooters around him, he would not be the most valuable player in the National Basketball Association.
Yeah, he would.
He would not. He would
Why wouldn't
not
he?
Giannis would
because
still
he
be
wouldn't
putting
be
up
that
his
valuable.
30. He would still be putting up his 30 points and 20 rebounds a
It's
game.
it's not all about points though. It used to be all about points, but that's what we have scoring titles for. The MVP, the voters now vote
Do they
for the
even talk
player
about
who,
scoring titles?
No.
if they're
Okay.
not on that team, the team won't win 60% of their games. That's how important they are. When Russell Westbrook was with OKC, come on, he wasn't the most valuable player with the Thunder. You know what I mean? Like, come on. He didn't have a freaking DeAndre Jordan or Blake Griffin or whatever. Like, it was literally Russ, just Russ. In Milwaukee, it's Giannis. It's Giannis. That's why
But
he's the
that's his. But
MVP.
that is his mentality. His mentality is, I
I
don't want
like
to
it.
be considered a MVP without a ring. Just what it is.
It hasn't been just Giannis
Yeah,
either, actually,
yeah.
because
Well,
Giannis has had
his
Lopez there for
mentality,
the last couple of years, and Lopez isn't any joke.
his mentality is what the NBA needs. The NBA needs Giannis's mentality to be like, look, competitive. I want to win. I'm not just going to stay here because I can sign a $210 million supermax deal and then become the most marketable person in Milwaukee because I'm a 2-time MVP, even though we'll never win a championship. That's what Carmelo does. Giannis says, you know what? don't even give me that, bro. I haven't earned it yet. You know what
Poor
I'm saying?
Carmelo.
That's the kind of competitive
He's
nature
getting
that we
abused
need in
on
the
the
NBA.
podcast.
And what's sad, bro? Like I love Carmelo Anthony in college hiatus. You don't even
Yep.
know. It broke my
Yep.
heart to see what he became, dude. I
Yep.
love that man, bro.
But
Gosh.
I knew it was a problem because when he came into the league and I can get his perspective. You went to college, you did what you did, but however you came in at the same time as a LeBron James, and so he has all these accolades and
Bad.
you feel that you should be on the same plateau because look, I went to college. This man just came out of high school, so
And that was the other
I
thing
could
too. I
understand
think
it,
he was trying to level off with LeBron at the same time too, on making the
right?
money at the same time.
And so he
And
went in one
you
direction,
mentioned
LeBron went in
running
a
a
different.
business. You
Hmm?
mentioned running a business. Let me ask you this,
Yep.
because if you were starting your own business, right, and
Hmm.
you had the opportunity to hire one person, you have two candidates, all right? One of
Hmm.
them has a 4-year college degree and is great,
I would just
would
hire
work out
Lamb.
just fine. And then you have another person who just went to high school, but they have natural greatness without all the learned doctors. Remember Step Brothers, where he's all,
Hmm.
you're in a house of
Learn
learned doctors.
doctors. So silly.
LeBron James,
I would just go with Lamb. I wouldn't pick Lamont.
LeBron, you hate Lamont. Hey, LeBron James has natural talent. It's the difference between someone who was made be in sales and someone who got a business degree in marketing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No,
Like
I know.
that's the difference between LeBron and Carmelo Anthony. They're both good. They both can get the job done. But I don't even hate Carmelo Anthony, bro, because that's a young black man who completed his freaking college education and made a millionaire out of himself.
He did.
I'm not gonna hate on that ever, bro. Like
He
ever,
did.
ever, ever. You know what
He
I'm saying?
did.
I'm just
And
talking about the competitive aspect because Carmelo is greater than what we saw. And
of
that's what
course,
makes me sad.
we all knew that. But this is the reason
Yeah.
why at the latter end of his career, you had those such as LeBron James vouching that he get another opportunity to show that he can still play ball. So even though coming in as a kid, he looked at LeBron one way, that relationship changed over the course of the years. And it actually led to him having someone in a position that could speak to people and get him an opportunity. That's the reason that he's with Portland now. Like, no team would give him a shot. But then he got that opportunity, and I mean, he didn't squander it. No, he wasn't the Carmelo of old, but he played ball.
Yeah, he played well. He loves to hoop. He loves the game. I just wish we would have seen that throughout his whole career.
Right. I
But
agree.
if you call Carmelo Anthony 2 years ago, you know what his ringer says? If it ain't about the money,
Hold
I ain't getting up.
up, hold up. But when you are married to Lala, I mean,
Facts. Speak on it.
you got to come through with that bread. Got to come
Right.
Keep her
through with the
happy.
bread, man. Can't be
Keep her
out
happy.
here. Yeah, can't be out here talking about. Well, don't worry. I know we were gonna buy that yacht, but I'm gonna take a lesser amount so I can get a ring. She was like, "Nah,
Yeah.
better call New York and tell them you come in there for 10 years." I'm just
Wow.
saying. You never look at the outside personal life, but there was a lot that went into why he made the choices and the decisions that he made. I don't think that it was all just selfish. He was looking out for his fam. And then again, it's hard for us, at least for me, it's hard for me to speak from a millionaire's perspective because I'm not a millionaire. It's easy to say what I would do if I was in his spot and
You're
if
not
I
a
had the
millionaire
funds.
yet.
True.
Yet.
So it's easy for me to speak and say what I would do, but if I was in that spot, bro, I don't know what I know I have morals, but you don't know like what obstacles you would face when you got more money than money.
Right.
Less.
Right.
like,
Okay,
like
I'll tell you what obstacles you would face. Less.
I mean, take like I mean, think about this, Lamb, and this is just getting this is off subject. But think about this, Lamb. You're a millionaire and you're single. How much trouble are you getting into? Think about all of
Me,
from the left, the right,
bro.
the center. They try. Their man entrapment is a thing, my guy.
We gonna have a conversation off stream because I got a
Okay.
plan for that, bro. I already got a plan for that.
That's too
I'm just
funny.
saying. I'm just saying. So, like, when we talk about this and we talk about Brandon and we talk about that, like, there's a lot that goes into the mental psyche of the player, and so this is why
Yeah,
players can't think of his name, but that used to play with LeBron on Cleveland that they just put him through rehab. You
Oh,
don't
Delonte
know,
West.
right? You don't know the mental strain and the stress that they go through because I mean, imagine making millions of dollars for like 5 years and then the next year you're broke, no money, and you got to go work at like a
He
fast
literally
food
just
joint.
had like a multi-million-dollar paycheck, and then the next year he was already on the streets in what was it? San Antonio was the first spot he popped up at.
I'm not 100% sure.
that's where I'm at, and I would have robbed him if I'd have seen him on the street.
Oh no! Somebody cut that out. Oh man.
That's
Just
crazy.
that's bad. Even when I was in nursing school, right before graduation, you have to take this one class about fiscal responsibility, and they literally drill into your head. They say, now you're going to be making more money than you ever have. If you've made $15, $17 an hour, now you're going to be starting off making $34 an hour minimum. So they
Mhm.
said, do not fall into the disease and go out and immediately buy a house and then get a BMW. Like they
Yep.
drill it into your heads because they see so many people in the medical field, whether they're a respiratory therapist, physical therapist, nurses, physician's assistants, or whatever. As soon as they get that first job after the internship, then
Oh,
think
mama, we
of big
made it.
meat,
You're right.
Mama,
Larry
we made it.
Hoover.
Hey.
Blowing money fast on this side.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So,
Nah,
and
that's real.
everybody did it except for like me and two other people. I know a couple girls, they instantly got pregnant, then they bought a house, then they bought Dodge Chargers and now they're selling the houses and everything because of COVID. I'm like, see, Mhm. You
They
spent all that
tried to
money you
tell
didn't
you.
have. Bro.
They
Yep.
tried to tell you.
All right, let's get back on subject real quick, guys. Let's finish up this past week on the NFL. Steelers are still undefeated. They won their divisional game against the Bengals this week, which was going to be expected. Steelers rolled away in this one with a 36-10 victory. Nothing real surprise here. Joe Mixon's still not back for Cincinnati yet either, guys. So just keep that in mind for fantasy reasons in this coming week as well. We had a decent Sunday night game between the Patriots and Ravens. I myself did not pick the Patriots. I was not picking the Patriots in this game. I almost didn't pick the Patriots last week against the Jets. Like, it's been bad for us this year.
Mhm.
Bad. We had to pull a trick play off in this one with wide receiver throwing it to running back. And it was a nice play, by the way. But other than that, like, we still didn't deserve to win this game. We really didn't. Like, Patriots got lucky in this game. I don't know if you guys have anything else to say
Agreed.
about.
No, I think you said it all.
The Ravens.
They got lucky.
The Ravens.
We got lucky.
Yeah, the Ravens are a better. The Ravens are a better football team. They just got out coached.
I can agree to that.
And then last night's game
Hey,
wasn't all that bad either. Between the Vikings and Bears. Vikings, hey. Vikings pulled
the
that
Ravens
game
are
off.
overrated though.
Yeah, the Ravens are
They need a wide
overrated.
receiver. They need a wide receiver. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. And I mean a wide receiver. They need a Devontae Adams. They need a Stephon Diggs. They need a Mike Evans. They need a receiver now.
I don't think they've been utilizing Des Bryant either. They put him on the active roster, but I don't think he's done much. I haven't seen much of anything, anyways. But going into this week, guys, we have some interesting games this week too that we need to touch up on too. Plus injuries. Injuries, like we were talking about, there's not going to be any Drew Brees for a while. Christian McCaffrey's out. Couple of other big names that are currently on the injury listing that I've been looking at. There's still no Calvin Ridley for the Atlanta Falcons. Teddy Bridgewater is questionable with a knee injury. It's like I said, no Christian McCaffrey. Nick Foles is questionable with a hip and glute injury. They say it's not as bad as they think it is, but Mitchell Trubisky's still out. So if Foles can't go, who's going to be quarterback? That's going to be fairly interesting and something to look forward to this coming week. Still no Joe Mixon. He's questionable, but he hasn't been practicing. Matthew Stafford is questionable with a partial torn ligament in his right thumb. He is expected to play, but that's going to play a huge factor in his throwing arm. And Gardner Minshew for the Jaguars is still out as well. He has been throwing a little bit apparently, but he's still ruled as out, and nothing foreseeable here in the next week or two at least for him on coming back. Other than that, there's really no big name injuries on the rest of the listings that I'm really seeing on. Yeah, no other big name listings that I'm seeing for injury wise. So going into this week, as of games, we'll knock off our picks at the same time too and roll through the rest of this because NBA, we need to get into the NBA. NBA is going to get exciting here in the next week. NBA is going to be, NBA has already been popping off. But not tomorrow's game, but Thursday's game, guys, going to be a hell of a game. It's probably going to be the best Thursday night game that we've probably ever seen on Thursday Night Football. We got the Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks. They have Seattle favored by 3 in this game in Seattle. This is a hard game to choose.
Even with the Cardinals and the way that they played in the last game, that's interesting.
And Seattle gets Chris Carson back. He did return back to practice today in limited fashion. So that's a very good sign for them as well. And they're looking to get their starting running back as well. This is a hard game to choose.
That's such a toss-up, bro. That's such a coin flip.
It is. It really is. Seattle, mind you, is 4-0 at home this year.
That don't mean anything this year.
No, it don't mean nothing this year. It really doesn't. But I'm just pointing it out as a perspective.
If Chris Carson plays, I'm going to go with Seattle. But if Chris Carson re-injures himself or is doubtful and doesn't end up starting the game, then I'm going to go with Arizona. Wait, Kenyon Drake is out too, though, isn't he?
No, Kenyon Drake played. He's in.
Okay. If Chris Carson plays, I go Seattle.
Yeah, nothing on. Kenyon Drake's questionable, but he rushed for over 100 yards this past game, I believe. He played in full fashion this last game.
This is what I dislike about doing these picks, right? Because the Arizona Cardinals have been doing their thing. They've been playing very well. They've been matching up against teams. They pulled out that game winner against Buffalo, as hot as Buffalo had been, and then if I pick against Seattle, this will be the week that Russell Wilson decides, you know what, I'm gonna play football, and then he
He
just
gonna
goes
rush for
off
100 yards
for like,
and throw
yeah,
for
they just goes
400 and
off
four
for like,
TDs.
it's like I don't know what I'm supposed to do because you show me
This
so many
is
weeks that it's just bad football, and then I go, all right, they're playing bad football. We can count on them to play bad football, and then all of a sudden, here you go. Now you're a Super Bowl caliber team.
this is
Like
one of the
I just
hardest games of
can't.
the year to pick, and there's
Either
gonna
one
be
of those
two
teams
more
is Super
games
Bowl.
this week that are gonna be like that too. There's two more games this week that are gonna be as hard to pick as this game is.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with Seattle, but like grudgingly going with Seattle because it's like literally like I don't want to disrespect the Cardinals and what they've been able to do thus far and how they played, but it's like, man, you shouldn't be able to beat Seattle. Seattle should
Yeah.
be able to beat you, but at the same time, they ain't been playing like that.
They truly have. My dog's staring at the cat butts. My dog is absolutely obsessed with my cat. Lamb, you staying with Seattle?
I gotta stay with Seattle, man. If Chris Carson's playing, I can't go against that.
Well, I'm going opposite of you guys. I'm going Arizona. I can't not go with the momentum that Arizona currently has right now. Arizona is playing lights out, and the way they established themselves against the Bills in a top 5 defense, and then being able to withstand the dual threat of Allen and Stephon Diggs. And then I don't know if y'all saw the play where Cole Beasley basically took Patrick Peterson out of his shoes during that touchdown throw. That shit was dirty. He did Patrick Peterson dirty.
It was a quick slant that he ran
It
in.
was no quick
I would
slant. That
I
was
don't
a
want to make
30
it
yard
seem like
throw.
he caught that in the end zone or
That
something.
was a 30-yard throw. That was no quick slant. He had time to juke him twice and then go up the field in a basically post route to the corner.
And Buffalo top 5 defense, just like what I've always said about the New England Patriots. Look at the division they play in. Like, so they
The
got
division's
exposed.
different
Like
this year though. Miami's playing lights
they
out.
have a top. We'd have a top defense too if we were playing against the Jets and the Patriots and like, come on.
I don't know about that
We'd have a
one.
top 5 defense. There's only one defensive team in the AFC, two: the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Every other team in the AFC is not defense bred; they're offense bred.
This next game's actually going to be hard to choose too. This is a toss-up because we can't trust the Cleveland Browns. We got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Cleveland Browns.
God, I gotta take
Jeez.
the Browns.
This is
Sorry.
ugly, guys. I don't like these picks already.
I don't.
What the hell's going on
Terrible
with
game.
this? These
But I
first
gotta
two
go with Nick
games.
Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I gotta go with Chubb and Kareem Hunt, man.
I can't, like, I don't even know what to pick, to be honest. Like,
I
like,
don't know either.
that is just
You never know what the hell Philadelphia's gonna do.
exactly. You don't know if Philly's gonna come to play. This is another one. Don't know if they're gonna come to play. You don't know what you're gonna get from Cleveland. I'm sorry. I'm going with Philly. I mean, it's probably silly to do that, but I'm going with Philly. I'm after being disappointed so many times
A
by the
horrible
Browns.
team.
I just cannot.
It's a tough.
Yeah, like I just can't.
Yeah,
I just can't.
I'm gonna have to roll with you on this one. I think.
two horrible picks that don't even matter.
I think I may
Like,
have to roll
exactly.
with you on this
It's
one.
like,
These are
geez,
so
man.
hard to pick. Like, these first two games
The
are hard.
Giants and the Washington
And then this
football
next
team
one's
last
going to
week,
be
it's
hard to
like,
pick, too, guys, because there's no Drew Brees in this game. We have no Drew Brees against the Atlanta Falcons and Julio Jones. CB says
oh,
never go
CB.
with the NFC
Oh,
least.
God.
Guys, our hearts are torn this week.
It
I'm
is,
looking at all
man.
Because
these
he's a
matchups,
Washington.
guys, and all these
Yeah, he can say
matchups
that 'cause
are
he's a
hard to
Washington fan.
pick, except
I'm Cowboys.
for I think 2 of the games. Every single one of these is going to be difficult to pick.
So what's the next game?
Jeez.
Philly and the Saints. Or no, sorry, Falcons and Saints. We just
Oh.
did the Philly game.
Falcons and Saints.
Falcons and
Take the
Saints with
Saints.
no Drew Brees.
Alvin Kamara's playing lights out. MVP, baby. He's playing MVP. And Michael Thomas. I mean,
And Michael Thomas hasn't done much in the last 2 weeks. I think he's combined for
he hasn't needed to.
9 receptions for less than 100 yards.
Wizard is never late, but shows up precisely when he needs to show up.
They've only got New Orleans favored by 5 points in this game.
Yeah, Saints are gonna win. I forgot Sunshine is from Georgia. Yeah, she's from Georgia.
Where you going, Shady?
Don't make me pick.
Bro, look at
Oh.
Alvin Kamara's stats, bro. They're retarded. They are retarded, bro.
I am going
Those
with the
stats are
Saints, by the way.
Alvin Kamara's that good.
I guess.
We know Michael
I mean,
Thomas
I guess I will go with the Saints. It's just I would feel more comfortable if Drew was playing.
Yeah, true.
It's just it's tough, man.
Look how many games Atlanta's not even well coached, bro.
They're
No,
not, but
they're
then
not.
but this,
They
but this
need-
is
Running back
They
play,
need to get rid of that whole front office.
but this is
from
the thing.
management
dude, they're not
down.
even well coached.
From management
Then they come into a game such as this where everybody's thinking that the Saints should win, and then they play lights out. It's like I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why
You know me,
you decide.
bro. I don't subscribe to any given Sunday. The Saints win this game, and it's not even close. That's just me. I don't believe in any given Sunday like the Dallas
it's gonna be
Cowboys can beat
close.
the Pittsburgh Steelers.
With no Drew
I don't
Brees,
even
it's going to
think
be
it's
close. If Jameis
I mean,
Winston starts this game, you know there's going to be a couple of turnovers.
Hey, I know Jameis Winston can throw 30 picks, but he can also throw 30 touchdowns. Let's not forget about the other side of that.
He can.
And
This
I don't
is
believe
true.
I don't believe Atlanta's really going to score a lot off of turnovers, even if they get them. But Jameis Winston, we act like he went into every football game last season, and he's like, throw a touchdown. Next offensive drive, pick. Next offensive. He had games where he was throwing 5 touchdown passes and no picks. You know what I'm saying? All they need Jameis Winston to do is go out there and not turn the ball over.
You're asking for a lot.
Find the mismatch. In the motion.
I was about to
Because
say.
remember, bro, the check down man, if your check down man is Alvin Kamara, come on. If I'm going to take any check down men in the NFL, bro, it's going to be Christian McCaffrey, number 1, Saquon Barkley, number 2, and Alvin Kamara, number 3. If I'm just taking a check down, not a power runner, that's who I'm taking. Got to go with Alvin Kamara, even as a check down man. He can turn a 1-yard play into a 4-yard gain, just dancing around back there, holding cleats. So who you got, High?
I don't know. Like, bro, I don't want to. Get me out of here. I don't want to pick.
Get
I
me
don't.
outta
Get me out of here, man. I don't.
You
These
got-
picks are
I
rough,
don't want to
man.
do it, man.
These picks are rough.
Hey, put a Put a condition on it if you want to. I'll even let you
Wow.
say if there's less than 2 turnovers, then Saints win. I'll let you put a condition on it, but you got to pick somebody.
I mean, I guess, like I said, I guess I'll go with the Saints, man. But it's so.
They have a better defense than the Falcons. They have a better running back than the
Yeah,
Falcons.
but at the
I
same time,
don't.
like, there's these random times that the Falcons go, "Hey, we know how to play football,"
Yup.
and then they just stomp on a team, and you're like, "What? Where did that come from?"
Yup.
And then the next week they're
They
back
don't.
to their same self.
They don't do that against good. They don't do that against good teams.
Okay. Well, I'm going with the Saints. We'll see if they do it against good teams, and I guess then the excuse will be, well, something. I don't even know what the excuse is. Well, something.
No excuse. I don't give a crap about the Falcons or the
I know,
Saints.
I
I just
know,
had
I
to pick a team.
know.
Is CB still lurking? I need CB for this next one. CB, please tell me you're still lurking. Oh, he's not, chat. He's not. This next one would have made CB happy, guys, because the Washington football team is actually favored in a football game this year. They're favored by 1.5 over the Cincinnati Bengals this week. Now, can they pull it off against Joe Burrow or not? Without Joe Mixon, he is questionable. I don't know if he's actually going to come back this week or not, but I don't foresee it happening.
Yeah, I'm actually going to choose the Washington football team.
What are you laughing at, Vet?
Whew.
I'm going Cincinnati on this one.
See, and that's where I want to go. But then
I
again,
gotta
it's
go
Cincinnati,
Cincinnati.
bro. It's
I know, I
Cincinnati.
know.
Oh,
And,
I'm going
and,
Washington football team, bro. Like
yeah,
these
Alex.
bro, these are just terrible. We shouldn't even have to pick these. Like these are these are
That's what I
bad,
said,
man.
man. Every single game this week, besides like 2 of them, is gonna be terrible.
It's like, all right, so I pick a losing team or like a really sucky team? Like,
Exactly.
so
Do I
it
pick
don't
the
matter.
500 team or do I pick the .233 team?
Exactly. Like what? Don't care. It's so
Man,
bad.
This week is terrible, guys. This next one's even hard to
Alex,
pick.
if
This
you get our
next one,
quarterback,
there is
Washington has
no.
a better
Yeah.
This
defensive
next one
line,
is
and
so
they have a better
bad,
wide receiver.
guys. There is no stat line for this game. There is no win for the line, and there is no over under on this game. I have no over under, and I have no line on this game. The Lions versus Panthers.
Oh gosh.
I'll take the Lions.
With
I think
Matthew
the Lions are
Stafford
better.
questionable, by the way. Remember, he has a torn ligament in his right thumb.
Again, Lions. I just believe the Panthers will find a way. Just find a way to give it up.
So you going Lions?
Yep.
Matt Stafford plays, yeah, that's the Lions 100%. I won't take any backup quarterback against any starter. If Matt Stafford is starting, the Lions win that
And
game.
there is no Christian McCaffrey in this game either, by the way. Still no Christian McCaffrey. I'm going Lions too, by the way. Swift has been looking nice in the backfield for Detroit too. DeAndre Swift has been looking like it's looking like he's going to be the future of that backfield here come for the next few years unless something happens. Next one is actually a no-brainer. You got Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Jaguars. I'm pretty sure all of us, no matter
Pittsburgh.
what, are going Pittsburgh.
Yep. I don't
Steelers.
foresee I don't foresee the Pittsburgh Steelers losing another game unless they decide to sit their starters out for the playoffs. That's it.
Right.
I believe I said that 3 podcasts ago. They might not lose another game the entire season because their schedule is not as hard as everybody.
Their
They have an
closest game,
easy schedule.
their closest 2 games that they'll have for the rest of the year, maybe a third game. You got the divisional game versus the Ravens, so this should be a close game. Then you got the possibility of the Bills, but their toughest matchup for the rest of the year, and they may end up losing this game. It depends on how healthy both teams are come to this game. But in Week 16, you do have Colts versus Pittsburgh. Lamb, you've been saying this: best offensive line and best defense in the entire NFL.
It's a game changer, and I think if
So
anyone has a
if
chance
both
of beating
teams
them,
are
it would be
healthy at that point, that's going to be a fairly interesting game, and Pittsburgh may take a loss in that game, especially on
Right, but
how
at
well
that
all three running backs have been utilized for Indianapolis too.
you said that's week what?
I
Week
will
16.
Okay,
This is still 5 weeks away.
so this is what I will say. There's no
both
real
healthy.
reason to
I'll
even
take the
look.
Colts.
No, it's
There's
not. But
no
we're
there's no
saying
reason to look.
we're saying we may not see Pittsburgh lose another game for the season. So I just wanted to pull it up real quick.
Right, but why would you risk your starters when you've already clinched the division?
Right. And pretty much you're going to have a 15-0 record at that point as long as you don't
Exactly.
lose a
There,
game.
like there's no point. There's no point.
So
I don't.
it'll be we'll see. And then another thing, maybe they want to go for history and be the first team to go undefeated with the championship since the Miami
Yeah,
Dolphins.
yeah.
So
We've already seen how that plays out.
yeah,
Don't do it.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, literally 16-0.
Don't want to talk about it.
Who was that quarterback, by the way, who beat him? Who stopped that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he
What
goes
was his
by
name?
Lesser Manning.
Lesser Manning.
Lesser Manning.
And we could actually call it that too because they both had 2 championships. So technically we can't call Eli the Lesser Manning.
I'll call him lesser because I imagine it's harder to go on 2 completely different teams than it is on the same team. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, that too.
That's why I think Kawhi. That's why I think Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James are so good. Multiple championships on multiple teams like that. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's
That's
not
incredible.
something that's normal.
You
Especially after severe
you
neck
got to
surgery
learn
like that too.
all new players. You got to learn all new players, all new coaches, all new systems. You know what I mean? Like that's rough. If you're with the same squad and you already know everything because you've been running it back to back to back for years and years and years, that's different.
Hmm.
Right.
But I give Peyton Manning big props because he did it with multiple teams for sure.
This next one is another
But
hard
when
one.
Tom
to
Brady
pick.
shows up in that Super Bowl this year,
Right. This next one's hard to pick too, guys. We got Titans versus Ravens
Ravens.
in Baltimore. Ravens are favored by 6.5.
I'm going Ravens. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just picking. Not even thinking about it because if I think about it, I'm just gonna keep going back and forth with all the possibilities. I'm just nope.
Titus, you sound like a smart man. Your mind just keeps going and going.
Oh
I'm
my
serious.
god.
That's how smart people think, man. Wait, who are the Ravens playing?
Ravens
I don't
Titans
see it on my
this
list.
week. Ravens versus
Oh,
Titans.
it is the Ravens Titans.
Yo.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm going with the Titans.
Derrick Henry may get back on track and go off this game.
He may or he may not. Only time will tell. And you know, because I said that, watch. Oh my god! Look at him go! He may just go all the way.
You know what? Speaking of that, I sat Ronald Jones this week just because of the matchup. No, it's okay because my other running back still went off. Gallman got me 20, Kareem Hunt got me 15, and Josh Jacobs got me 31. so I was okay with it. Like, it was all right. But when I saw him go off for that 98-yard run, I was like, did I really
Yeah,
just sit this man?
bro.
Mm-hmm. You made a faux pas. Mm-hmm.
But we still managed. We ended up winning our fantasy by like 50 some points. I ended up scoring 325 points this week. But Ravens Titans, guys. This is you're saying you're picking Ravens, Shady.
Yep,
All right, all
I
right.
am.
Who you going, man? This is
I'm
He
going
said Titans.
you going Titans?
Titans, baby. It's what I mean in D2. I believe in it. Ryan Tannehill is a Texas boy. He's a Texas boy, so I got all the stars are aligning. Hopefully, I'm going with the Tennessee Titans, baby. The Ravens haven't showed me any run defense.
Titans been struggling the last few weeks, y'all, and I don't know if they'll get it back together. Honestly, I really don't think they'll get it back together. So I'm gonna go with a hiatus on this one and go with the Ravens. I gotta go with the home team on this one. They're playing better on both sides of the ball right now too. This next one's ugly as well, guys, and this may be a very low scoring game. We got Patriots versus Texans. Okay, can Cam Newton actually duplicate and actually have a decent game, or are we gonna see the up and down Cam Newton that we're used to?
You're gonna see the up
You know
and down
what? We
Cam
should
Newton that you're
all have
used
a.
to.
Yeah, can we
We should all
just
have a
put
pass for a game. That
can
we
we just
care to
put
pick.
every team in a hat
I would
and
pick.
just pick out of a hat this week?
I agree. I'm down with it.
That's
I
how
am
This
bad
down
this
with
week
it.
is, guys.
Man, I'm down for this game, not even counting. This is the stupidest game this entire week. There's no game worse than
This week is
Texans are
so
awful.
bad.
David Johnson's not even.
Yeah, David
God.
Johnson's still not back either. Like,
I'm saying, dude,
I,
I don't even
I
know.
think we'll reach the 500 mark in this one, honestly. I think we'll reach the 500 mark. I think we'll go 5-5 in this game. But this game's going to be ugly. We're not going to win by much. And that says
literally
up and
gonna flip a
down
coin.
Cam. Where's the up?
I have no analysis, so I'm about to flip something. I have no analysis for this trash game. I'm literally
Just
about to
one
flip
of those.
It is one of those. It's bad.
something. There we go.
I was
Calm
going
it
to say,
down.
I got a quarter right next to me if you want me to flip a quarter. Oh, he's already got a
Yo, I
dime
got
in
this
hand.
dime. I got this dime from Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner gave this to me and said a dime for a dime, and I said, "Show you right."
So,
Oh, my lord.
All right, Melby, should it be heads Texans or
heads,
heads Patriots?
heads is Patriots.
All right. Should I catch it or should I just let it fall?
Just let it fall.
Heads is Patriots.
I'm interested.
It's on tails. We're going with the Houston Texans.
Go with the Texans. This is bad, chat. When we gotta flip a coin because the games are this bad this week.
that's tough.
We've had one for sure pick this week, guys. One. And we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 8th game of the week. We've had one for sure pick. Where you going, Shady?
He's gonna make me pick.
At least I made you go last this time.
You did. I'm blah, 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 blah. I'm going to. I'm gonna go with. It hurts to say this. I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Oh man,
Going
this
with
is
the
so bad,
Patriots.
chat. This is so bad. This is so bad.
I mean, it's a winnable game.
It
literally is.
It is.
If you can't win this game, then you shouldn't be in the NFL. Like, it's a winnable game, my guy. You're a superstar. What? Why can't you win this game?
Was. But
He was a superstar.
So this is
Would use
probably
pass
our
tense.
second for
Past
sure
tense.
game this week. We've got
You
Dolphins
know,
at Broncos.
you Lamb. Normally I would defend him, but I can't. So it's like,
The
I want to be
superstar, but
like,
he was
he's still a,
mediocre.
still, but I can't. I can't. He's proven this season that he's not. It's terrible. I
Yeah.
Go.
wanted vindication for Cam this year so bad.
I
I
did
really did.
too, but after what I saw the
Not
first
me.
few
I
weeks, I
knew it
was
was a
like,
mistake. I
Man,
knew it was a mistake.
it,
I told every Patriots fan I know, I said, y'all are happy about this? I said, this is the stupidest decision y'all could have ever made.
at least we only paid
Y'all could
2
have
mil
got,
for
I'd
him.
rather, exactly, you didn't waste
We
anything,
we
but
we, we didn't
I'd
have any other
rather,
money to spend, so we couldn't go after anybody else. We couldn't even assign Colin
I'd
Kaepernick
rather
if we
have
wanted to.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco's contract's
Yep.
more than Cam Newton's contract.
It should be.
I picked the Dolphins in this
It
next
should.
one, by the way, guys. We got Dolphins at Broncos.
I don't know if I believe the hype.
Their defense is no
I'm
joke.
going with
Their Dolphins'
Dolphins.
defense is number 1 defense in the league. They're only giving up like 17 point something points per game.
I don't believe that the Broncos, unless they just play an
Oh, they're
absolute
playing the
trash
Broncos?
team.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If they're playing the Broncos, yeah, I'll go for the Dolphins. But I still don't know if I believe the hype that the Dolphins are all they're cracked up to be. I need to see them beat a great team. We talked about that a little bit off stream. I need to see more.
This next one is probably another for sure game. Chargers versus Jets. Jets aren't winning the
Chargers.
game this year.
Chargers.
Jets. Jets. Right. No, not at all. Chargers.
I was like, wow, is he serious right now?
Oh, dead. I really thought he was
Yeah.
going for the Jets in this one. That's
Listen,
hilarious.
that's about as much cheering they'll get this year. That's it. Because they're horrible.
All right, back to the tough games, guys. Back to the tough games. Packers versus Colts. In Indy.
I'm picking Colts.
Oh, that is tough.
I'm picking Colts too. They're too good on both sides of the ball, and their defense has been stopping nearly everything, forcing turnovers, scoring touchdowns off of turnovers, scoring touchdowns on defense.
Support your man, AA Ron. Hold him down.
Oh, I supported him in the game that you went against him in the Houston Texans. I've been the only one talking about every single podcast how the Colts have the best offensive and defensive line. Thank you.
Hold
So
your
if I
man
was a
down.
fanboy of
Hold your
anyone, it
man
would
down.
actually be the Colts.
Hold your man down. Hold AA
Let's
Ron
see.
down, man.
No, my man is Zavala, baby. What up, Zavala? I see you. I see you
Hey,
holding
that's
it down
horrible.
for the Vanguard.
That's horrible.
That's funny.
That's horrible. Nobody will trust your
He's
picks
the
ever
captain.
again if you support Zavala.
Oh, you just gotta look at my record. You just gotta look at my record. Last time I checked, ain't that what Nipsey Hussle said? Last time I checked, I'm still in the.
Hey, you can be in the lead, but just don't support that guy.
You're right.
He's a Titan, saving the world.
When?
Let's
When?
see. Oof.
What fight has he ever fought? The only thing he's ever done for us is hold a bubble over our heads in the initial mission of D2. And he died. And he died.
In chess, the pawns go first. So he gave his life to protect us. I'll take that every day, sir.
Even Bungie wouldn't allow him a W. They made him die.
That's because Bungie hates Titans. They're all about Hunters, bro. I
Listen,
don't know
sir.
why, but
Listen, sir. I'm a Titan.
dude,
Okay,
Bungie's all about hunters. Bungie is all about hunters.
and I've been rocking Titan since D1. I'm just gonna say I have not been a fan of Zavala since D1. Just saying.
Feel that?
Who you got in this one, man?
But I don't know if you should be proud of that. The hunter is the easiest character to play in the
Oh,
challenge
ouch.
yourself a
Ouch. The
little.
disrespect.
And I don't know if I have enough time on this podcast to contemplate that pick. I might have to text y'all that pick tomorrow. I don't know, man. I need to. That's hard. That's the hardest one all season for me. All
Nah.
season.
PLP. PLP. Hold your man down.
All right. Well, I'll put a Colt pack in there for right now. Then we'll go ahead and swing it. Next one should
Are
be a
both of y'all
no.
going with the Colts?
Huh?
Both of y'all are going with the Colts?
Yep.
Mm.
Man.
Hold him down, man. He gonna have a spectacular game. He gonna show you.
Yeah, he didn't against two good defensive lines in the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What? Not a run.
Yeah.
Blasphemy.
Nah, he's still the best quarterback in the NFL.
What?
Yep. Almost nobody goes undefeated, bro.
5.
Even
Five.
Grenadier Jake. Hey,
5.
even Grenadier Jake picks up the passage of mercy.
I'm dead.
5. 5.
Hey,
1, 2, 3,
even
5.
ZK, even
1, 2, 3,
ZK gets
4,
the passage of mercy.
That's
Even Panda
funny.
gets the passage of mercy.
5. Hey,
Everybody needs lost forgiveness.
hey, Lamb. He gave you 5.
Went against Aaron Rodgers. What happened the last time when that happened?
Oh man.
Hey, chat, rewatch all these podcasts. They start laughing at something and then end up losing again the following week.
Hey,
End
I
up losing
mean,
again. Hey,
any given
circle.
Sunday.
Life is a circle.
Any
History
given
repeats itself.
Sunday.
Keep it going.
Any given
Keep
Sunday.
it going. Make another joke.
Whether you believe it or not. Come on, AA Ron. This is the only way that you get to play. Is when I make
I
fun
will
of you.
take the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, we all gonna be wrong. Watch AA Ron Davis.
Yeah, right? Aaron gonna go for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns now.
He gonna
He
crawl
has
on the
not
side.
showed us that against a good defense or against a good running back. He has not showed us that. Sorry. Showed us that all season.
When he does the post game and they say, Aaron Rodgers, you had a phenomenal game. What was your motivation? He's gonna look into that camera and he's gonna say, I always thought Lamont had faith in me, but I watched his podcast and he went against me, and I had to show him that I'm still the greatest quarterback. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
I'm dead.
Support Zavala. I'm in the lead, baby.
Oh my lord. That's
Only winner can put
hilarious.
their hand up.
This next one it should be a no-brainer. Cowboys are officially tanking. I'm taking Vikings in this one.
Oh God, we don't even need to pick this game. Joke.
We
Vikings are taking this one.
Game is
Dalvin Cook gonna have another 4-touchdown performance.
Yeah, we don't even have to discuss that game. We all know who we all picking.
Mm-hmm.
This next one, guys, maybe possibly game of the week besides Packers and Colts and possibly the next game that we're about to talk about too. This game's a Sunday night game, guys. Chiefs versus Raiders, round 2. Raiders took the first game. Raiders are at home in this game now too. Can they go 2-0 on the Chiefs this year? You're taking who?
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Say, this is time to get ready for the Super Bowl. Get ready for the playoffs.
And Patrick
Got to shape
Mahomes
up.
and Tyreek Hill, they got too much swag and too much pride to let that go. They're not letting that go. They might run it up. I mean, they might be up by 3 scores in the fourth quarter with less than 2 minutes and still throw a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill and go for 2 points.
This one's going to be hard for me. I really want to choose. I really want to choose the Raiders in this one. But
now go with me.
Listen,
yeah, I'm choosing Kansas City in this one, but
ain't nothing to
Kansas City's gonna have a
it.
hard time stopping Josh Jacobs. They don't have anybody on that defense to stop Josh Jacobs. So that's gonna be my one issue for them, and Darren Waller. Darren Waller is always an issue as well. But Kansas City will end up winning this one. They're not gonna lose to the Raiders within the same division. And have that probably be their only 2 losses of the year. They're not going to let it happen. So, I'm taking Kansas City in this one as well.
You heard it here, folks.
When Zilla said the Raiders did a victory lap, Mahomes going for 5 in this one. Yeah, he is. He probably is, man. I guarantee it.
He might. They're gonna run trick plays, like he might throw in a round behind the back touchdown pass. I'm just saying they're gonna go absolute balls to the walls to prove a point. But on the other side of that spectrum, I love the swag from Gruden, bro. Talk your trash, man. Like, represent, bro. I love the Raiders. They got that confidence back, bro. Gruden is really building something in Vegas. He really is.
What, cancer? Sorry, my bad. That came out wrong.
No, they're building a squad, man. They are building a squad. They're drafting defensive linemen and offensive linemen.
Oh man,
here, a DB there. Like, they're building a squad. But
listen,
Kansas
Lamb,
City is gonna put that work on them.
Lamb, you're my boy. 100 pounds, man. Listen, bro. Anytime there's a Gruden involved, I don't trust it. He will find a way to screw that up.
You mean over time in general?
Yes, he will find a way to screw that up, man.
I'm not saying they'll win a Super Bowl, but they will be a Super Bowl contender. And I don't mean how everyone says that about every team. Every team's a Super Bowl contender. No. I mean having 10, 11, 12 win seasons, like in contention.
You know what I think would be justice is if they decide to part ways with him, and the next coach that gets the reins gets a Super Bowl ring. Gotta be
10
justification.
Years, $100 million?
I would. Yeah.
Huh?
10 years.
No. I get it. I'm just saying justification for his only Super Bowl championship that it was given to you. Like, if I was my first time being a coach and I got to get the team after Tony Dungy and Monty Kiffin had basically set the stage for me, man, I'd have took that ring.
Right. This next one probably, and like I said, it's probably going to be another one that's going to be close to game of the week. Monday Night Football is Rams versus Bucks.
Ooh.
I'm taking the Bucks in this one.
I'm
taking the Bucks in this one.
Is anybody ready to admit that the Rams are a good football team besides me every single podcast? They are a solid football team.
Still
solid.
They are.
They still might lose to the Bucks, but they're
they
a solid
are.
football team.
They're too up and down for me.
I
They're
will
not
give
up
you
and down.
this.
That's the NFL. You can't believe in
I
any
I
given Sunday
will
and then say they too up and down.
I will give you this. They do play really well. They are a very decent squad. I do respect them and what they did this season. So yes,
Look at
I do
Winzilla.
respect them.
Look at
But
Winzilla.
but
Yep.
they are going to get smacked. They are going to get
The
smacked.
Tom Brady's gonna walk all over the Rams in this one.
Yeah, they're gonna get smacked. We gonna witness that smackage.
He barely got away with the Rams in the last one. Now that he's got a whole squad, he about to walk away with this one easily.
But I mean, I won't sleep on them because we've also seen the Bucks
Jalen
struggle.
Ramsey can't guard 5 different people.
Appreciate it. It's not going to be about Jalen Ramsey. Who is going to stop Aaron Donald, who leads the league in sacks and gets to every single quarterback and makes
Have you
them
not seen
run
how
for
much
their
time
fucking
Tom Brady has to throw? They got
Do
one of the
you
best
know who
offensive
Aaron
lines in
Donald
the
is?
league.
Do
Listen,
you know who?
Melby?
Then why did they run the ball 4 times if they have one of the best
Hold
damn
up,
offensive lines in the league?
Lamb. I got your back, bro. Got your back.
Don't lie to me, Hiatus. Hiatus, you lie to
I'm
me,
not.
bro.
I'm not lying
Melby,
to you. I'm
Tell
not
Hiatus
lying
stop
to you.
lying to me. He
I
ain't got
understand who
lying to
Aaron
you.
Donald
I'm
is,
not.
but
Listen,
the Bucks have one of the
listen.
best offensive lines. in
Here's
the league.
what I gotta pay respect to where respect is due. Lamb has been preaching about Aaron Donald every week on top of weeks, and he has not disappointed.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't done it since
He
he's
hasn't.
entered the league.
And we have seen what happens to Tom Brady when he gets flustered. And
Yep.
that is a very good point because it doesn't matter how many it doesn't matter how many tools you have. If you can't get the ball to him, that's a GG's.
Happened with Aaron
So
Rodgers.
it's a very valid point because what we can't say is
Happened
that
with Russell Wilson.
what we can't say is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line is going to stop Aaron Donald. Like we can't say that at all. He is going to get.
Aaron Donald's gonna
to
get
him.
his. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I'm saying, even with the factor of Aaron Donald, the Bucks are still winning this one.
I'm gonna tell y'all where I'm conflicted, okay? Because
That's tough.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. My football IQ is telling me to choose the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but to bet 500 on the Rams and try to double up. Like, I always choose defense over offense, and I have to go with the Rams here. If Aaron Donald, like, you can have Antonio Brown.
If I'm trusting a quarterback in this one, I'm definitely trusting Brady over Goff.
To me, it's not even going to be about the quarterback because Russell Wilson is better than Jared Goff. DK Metcalf is better than Robert Woods. Tyler Lockett is better than Cooper Kupp. And Russell Wilson is mobile in the pocket. I have to go. That pressure from Aaron Donald is going to be there in 2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds.
Brady's been getting rid of the ball his entire career in that amount of time.
Yeah, but that was with the Patriots. Different coaching.
You got
different coach style.
You got 5 different wide receivers / tight ends you can get the ball to, and 2 different running backs in the backfield that are capable of going off at any point.
Yep. And yet they couldn't get anything done against a worse defense from the New Orleans Saints.
Let's not even talk about the Saints. Let's talk about what happened when they played the New York Giants.
True that. I forgot about that, bro.
That game was ugly.
True that.
I'm just saying.
That game was ugly.
Like, you can't see that game and then dismiss it, bro.
No.
Like we can't do that.
They barely walked away with that game.
Which is exactly why none of us picked the Green Bay Packers. You can't unsee a 5-point game. You can't
Exactly.
unsee that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams here on this one, y'all. Aaron Donald to me is the truth. I think I just think the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFL. I do. I know everyone thinks I'm crazy because I keep putting them in my power rankings. I just think they're one of the best overall teams. The problem is I think the Buccaneers are too. But I take defense because I'm more of a defensive guy over offense. And just like Melby said, we've seen what happens with, or just like Haida said, we've seen what happens when Tom Brady gets pushed down on the ground at least once or twice. He gets,
It's how the Carolina Panthers in our pursuit of championship. That's that season that we went. That's how we beat them. We roughed him up.
yeah.
We beat him up.
You got to put two of those good offensive linemen on Aaron Donald, and then if a linebacker blitzes, I mean, a linebacker is going to have a free shot at Tom Brady every single play if LA smart about it. I'm going to go with the Rams. I need to hear y'all's picks on this one. I'm pumped up, y'all.
I'm already choosing
I'm gonna
Bucks.
be I'm gonna be so tense. This is the only game, and neither one of these teams are my teams because I'm a Dallas Cowboy
Hmm.
fan. But I would rather be right, you know what I'm saying, than have my team win. And this is a game that I want to be right about. That I will literally have to eat crow.
Yep. Because I'm picking Bucks, but I'm just saying. Same time, them Rams defensively, because we've seen what happens with Tom Brady. It can go either way. It could be a wash, and Tom Brady could go off if they can't stop, AB and these other wide receivers. We could see setting crazy, but Fournette hasn't really done much to help them to open up that offense for the wide receivers. So I mean, it could go either way, but I
I'll
think
say
if
this:
he gets punched in the mouth, it's gonna be a long day.
all I'm gonna say is, if this is all I want, if the Bucks beat the Rams, no one is gonna be shocked, right? Tom Brady, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette, Rob Gronkowski, like no one's gonna be shocked. Can we all agree on that? If the Bucks beat the Rams,
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked about that.
no analyst is going to be shocked if the greatest quarterback of all time in the history of NFL football beats the LA Rams, who have Jared Goff as a quarterback, with Antonio Brown and Mike Evans and Rob Gronkowski. No one's going to be shocked.
This
And
is
with those
true.
two running backs, no one's going to be shocked. People might be like, they might be shocked at the point differential if it's super close. But if the Rams beat the Bucks, they will prove that they are a Super Bowl contender. Like I've been like, this don't make me laugh. That they will prove that they are a Super Bowl contender, like I have been saying. If
This
they can
man,
beat the Buccaneers, bro, no one's gonna be shocked if the Buccaneers, who everyone is predicting to be the Super Bowl champion, like everyone's predicting they're going to go to the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I've said in the NFC, if anyone's going to knock them out, it's going to be this team. It's going to be the Rams. That's what I've been saying. Now we finally get to see that game. Both healthy.
we do.
So if the Rams get stomped, no excuses. You're fully healthy.
Yep.
You're fully healthy. No injuries. No important injuries, right? Every team has injuries. No major injuries. So
Yep.
this is the proving ground
I agree
right here.
with you there. I'm with you when you're right.
I'm
This
Nervous. This is the
power.
only game all season that I've actually been nervous about, y'all.
Let's do a quick power rankings real quick. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh 1, KC 2, and then I'm gonna go New Orleans Saints number 3.
Oh, hold up. Let me get my list up.
I
Let
can't,
me
I
get
can't
my.
put Green Bay in there. They got Green Bay as the number 3 power ranking, right? Actually, no. Technically, they had Green Bay as the number 4 power ranking. They had Pittsburgh, Kansas City, New Orleans, Green Bay, and the Miami Dolphins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in their power ranking this morning. But my power ranking 1 through 3 is Steelers, Chiefs, Saints for me.
Even with Drew Brees' injury, you're still going to put the Saints up there because I think that makes a difference.
Jameis Winston will hold his own. I'm not worried about it.
Well, okay.
That and Jameis isn't always going to be the quarterback 100% of the time, too, because you already know they're going to mix in Taysom Hill, too. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We'll always see a dosage of Taysom Hill.
All right, so oh wait, my Twitch froze. Oh no, there it is. So I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers, number one, who I was also the first one to put them at number one and keep them at number one in the power rankings. And I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs, number two, because I mean, honestly, here's my dilemma: is at number three. Because I don't believe that records dictate what your power ranking is. It has a lot to do with the remainder of your schedule. Um, it also has a lot to do with the health and depth of your roster. But I usually base them upon offense and defense. I think the best overall offense and defense in the AFC is the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the team with the weakest schedule that already has a winning record is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's why they're number one, because they may not lose another game. Kansas City, they could still lose a game. They could lose a game this week, actually. But for number three, I am torn between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Rams. I do not know which one that I can put in there. So I have a tie at third place. I don't know which team is better. And if I had to throw in a fourth, it still wouldn't be Seattle or Green Bay. I would put the Indianapolis Colts up there.
What you got, Hiatus?
Pittsburgh, Chiefs, Colts.
Pittsburgh,
And then
Chiefs,
I
Colts?
do,
Ooh.
yep. And then uh, I have the Bucks at 4. Because I
That
still think I still think that they have um, they're getting what they need. Like if you don't face adversity during the course of a season, this is what causes you to lose and miss out on championships. Like your team has to be tested.
Right.
So I think with what they've experienced, what they've gone through is going to help them in the long run to kind of get over the hump. But I can't deny what I've seen with my eyes with the Colts and how they've been playing. Like they've been playing solid ball. And that's why the first two kind of for the most part has stayed the same. Pittsburgh, they haven't lost. Like you can't drop them below. Even I understand records, but they haven't lost. They've been in tough fought games and found a way to win. So I can't drop them. They're number one. The Chiefs, they're still the champs until they're dethroned, and they are fighting their way back to another Super Bowl championship. The third spot is where it fluctuates because some weeks you have teams that show playoff caliber, Super Bowl caliber, and then the next week they're trash. And it's like it's been so up and down throughout the season to kind of match and say, okay, these are top 3 because any one of these teams, if matched up, could beat the other team. Like I could see the Bucks, which we will see, facing the Chiefs and being able to knock the Chiefs off. Like you could see the Colts in Pittsburgh playing and the Colts taking a W over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like these are teams that you could see this play out. So it's tough, but you know, as the season winds down and that playoff picture starts to look a little bit clearer, you're gonna really start seeing like the Green Bays fade away, the Vikings
Seattle
fade
Seahawks
away, yeah,
fade away.
Seattle fade
Yeah.
away, and and these teams really start showing their pedigree.
Right.
We picked all of us picked the majority more teams that are more than just one dimensional, right? The
Yeah,
Seattle Seahawks are one dimensional. The Green Bay Packers one dimensional.
and it don't
Pittsburgh
work.
can beat yeah, Pittsburgh can beat you in the run game, they can beat you in the pass game, they can beat you in the defensive game. Kansas City can beat you in the run game, they can beat you in the pass game, they can beat you in the special teams game. You know what I mean? Like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they can beat you in the defense game, they can beat you in the passing game, they can beat you in the run game. Same thing with the Rams. Same thing with the Colts. All of these teams have multiple ways that they've won games. They've won games through running the football, they've run games through key defensive plays and just having an overall good defense, and they've won games where they're just going to throw lights out and run a spread off it or trick plays. Kansas City runs so many damn trick plays, bro. I watch them in awe. It just looks like they're playing around out there, bro. It looks like they're playing around. But I respect the Colts. That's why I'm saying if I had a fourth position, it would be the Indianapolis Colts. I tie for third and I put the Colts at four because having the best offensive line and defensive line in football matters. Even if you don't have a Julio Jones, even if you don't have an Alvin Kamara, it still matters. That defensive push and that offensive protection lets everything else come into play. So I respect that Colts being up there. And you see how it is? We haven't even talked. And we
No, we
both have the
haven't.
Colts at the top five. We haven't talked
Yeah,
at all, bro. Not once. Yep.
I mean
Interesting.
the eye test do not lie, man.
Yep.
When you see it week over week, the eye test does not lie, bro.
I don't. I didn't even list my top five either. I only listed my top three. I didn't even list my fourth or fifth.
Yeah, fourth or fifth, it's hard, man, because all the teams have terrible records.
It's hard. Colts would be my fourth pick though. Colts would be right there at my fourth. My fifth probably be a toss up between three teams between Tampa Bay, maybe the Rams, and Green Bay. Now I don't know who could be that fifth spot right now, honestly.
Yeah, my fifth spot, as weird as it sounds, because I know I've been hard on them. I've been super hard on them, but my fifth spot would probably have to go to the Buffalo Bills. As much as I hate to say it, or tied for fifth with
Actually,
it
I'll
would be tied
take
for fifth.
I'll take the Rams out of mine. I'll put Arizona up in that spot. Actually, Arizona's been
I,
playing better than all three of those teams that I just listed.
yeah, I just don't believe in them. I don't
I
know
do.
what it is. Like Melby, I watch them and I want to believe in them. I see
Kyler
their
Murray's no
roster.
joke.
I want to, but I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't see it. It's the
Kyler
same way I
Murray's the
feel about the
real deal.
Dolphins. I know the Dolphins are on a win streak. They're having a great season, but I just don't believe it. I need to see something more. I've seen a little bit more from the Buffalo Bills. I used to always knock at them. I'm like, they're not really blah blah blah. I'm not going to count it against you if you were competitive and you lost on the last play of the game on a Hail Mary. Like, I mean, you did what you could do, you know?
Right.
You did what you could do.
We're gonna touch up on one more big topic, which is the NBA, and then we'll let Lamb and Hiatus touch up with the WWE right after that, and we'll wrap up, guys. Um, NBA's got a lot going on here in the next couple of weeks. Trades have already been starting to happen. Free agency opens up after the draft tomorrow, and the draft is tomorrow itself at the same time too. But getting into the trades, one of the biggest trades that's happened so far is that Chris Paul and Abdel Nader have been traded away from the Phoenix Suns to Oklahoma City. From Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is getting Kelly Oubre Jr., which I thought it was a mistake by the Phoenix Suns. He was playing pretty hot for them towards the end of the season and in the bubble. Another piece that they're really going to truly miss too is Ricky Rubio. I understand they're getting Chris Paul, But Ricky Rubio liked being in Phoenix, and you could tell he liked being in Phoenix at the same time too. So they're definitely gonna miss that piece. They got rid of Ty Jerome and Jalen Leck, and then a 2022 first round pick. That's an abnormal lot to. I understand it's Chris Paul, but he's only got like 2 years left in him, max. Like, he doesn't have much longer left to play in the league. And giving up that many players on top of a 2022 first round pick at the same time seemed like a little bit of a stretch for me by the Phoenix Suns. Um,
Too much.
it is too much, especially for a player of being
Yeah.
that old and being injury
Who's at
prone
the
at
end
the
of the
same
line?
time too. He's too injury prone. He's been injured every single year in the last like 6 years.
He's at the end of the line, man. You don't give up that much for that guy. Like, did they really think that that's enough to take on the
I
Lakers? Are
could
they kidding
I
me?
could see the 2 players for the 4 players, but you don't get rid of a 2022 first round pick.
You do if you're not planning on being head coach for very much longer.
Right.
It's like, I'm
Phoenix
tired
is
of this
making a
job.
legit push to possibly be a case to be a contender in the West. They almost made the playoffs in the bubble. They won every single one of their games in the bubble and were literally a half a game shy of being inside the NBA playoffs. The addition of Chris Paul will definitely help, but losing that sixth man and Kelly Oubre Jr. is definitely going to hurt them a lot. They're going to miss a lot out of Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
just like with all the trades that are going on. There's only two rumors of trades that are going on right now that I think have that I feel have the most relevancy that could be something to consider, right? And of course, it's still all rumors. Y'all already told me before we even streamed what the Houston organization said when it in regards to James Harden actually going to the Nets, which he would be considering. But Russell Westbrook for John Wall, and someone else, um, that interests me in the West. If Russell Westbrook were to be traded for John Wall and somebody else, because supposedly they're working on that deal, but Houston wants more because it's Russell Westbrook and they paid him too much money to come
They're
there
not
for a
going to
year.
get more, though. John Wall's contract's too much.
Yeah. So those are the ones I think that would be, you know, monumental, that could actually do something because like the Phoenix, yeah, Chris Paul's good. He can get you to the playoffs, but he won't do a whole lot once you get there. And for a guy who's injury prone, you said, who feels like he's entitled, you know what I mean, for whatever CBA or Players Association or whatever that he's about, and he's getting to the end of his career, I just don't see that making that big of a difference for a team. And I know everybody was hyping it up on ESPN talking about, oh, that makes them a serious contender. I'm like, no, it doesn't, bro. Do you know who LeBron James and Anthony Davis are? Like, stop trying to create news. It's not that big a deal. LeBron James and Anthony Davis will clean up, bro. I haven't seen anything yet that makes me worry that LeBron James and Anthony Davis aren't going to repeat.
Agreed. But at the same time, you do have teams that are forming. You
Right.
do have
Yeah.
returning teams that we've forgotten about that it
Mm-hmm.
has to remind everybody why they were feared in the first place.
Yep.
So it's a lot of activity, a lot of moving parts, um, and I understand why they're trying to do it, but the thing is, if you think that you're going to get the Chris Paul that we seen at OKC the last season, you're not, and that's the problem because you're paying for damaged goods,
Yep.
and like let's you have to just call it for what it is. You're paying for damaged goods, and you're going to be upset when the damaged goods show you that they're damaged goods. Um, because that's literally the avenue that they're taking. How many years do you think Chris Paul has left on his legs? The
Like
man
I
is
said,
injury
he
prone.
got 2 years left max. He's got
he
this year after being traded, and depending on how well this year goes, he pretty much done.
Yep. He got
he's
the same
injury
amount that I have in my knees. 1
right.
year.
He's
One
injury
year.
prone. He's injury prone, and he can't handle the load of that a young superstar could handle. And so you had a young squad. If you wanted to bring in someone as like a veteran role player to help your young guys prepare themselves for a possible championship, that's one thing. But to shift your team to get Chris Paul as if that's going to automatically make you a contender, come on, bro.
Right.
Yeah,
He
that's crazy.
he's the old time um, point guard. Point guards don't even play like him anymore.
Yeah. True.
So it's
You
like,
don't have a
what?
three bullets
What?
point guard. What are you here
Yeah,
for?
it's like, what are you gonna match that with?
This one may make you happy, hiatus. It hasn't been finalized yet, but Danny Green is possibly getting traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder, along with a 2020 first round draft pick for Dennis Schroeder.
I'll take it. Oh my gosh.
Hey, can I just say something funny?
Oh my
Before
gosh.
before this trade deal, they were talking about sending Danny Green back to San Antonio. So
Yo,
you know what that means? After he missed that 3-pointer, LeBron James made his mind. We got to get him the hell out of here this
Exactly.
offseason.
Listen,
They're trying to
it,
get rid of him, bro.
it wasn't the fact that he missed it. It was the fact that he missed it and posed as if he made it.
yeah,
And it's
And
like,
still
just
didn't
my
sat
make it.
God,
there and
my
waited.
God.
Didn't
Listen,
even follow the shot to go for a rebound, bro. Like just
Nada.
held it
for
up.
Just stood there
for
at the
for
3 point line
anybody
like, I made this, y'all.
So for
Oh
anybody
man.
that plays 2K, there is nothing more tilting than running with someone and you
Stop.
set them up for
Go.
a wide open shot and they hit the animation. They don't green it, but they hit the animation to make it look like they greened it and they break it or
Yup.
they airball it. And you're
Yup.
like, well, why would you hit the
That
animation?
is so frustrating watching the animation, too. It really is.
Like, why would you hit the animation if you knew you didn't make?
Yup.
So yeah, he needed to go. His time had come.
Yeah.
And then this one hasn't gone through yet either. But they're closing a trade deal. Robert Covington is going to go to the Portland Trailblazers for Trevor Ariza
Yeah.
and a 2020 first round draft pick, and then a protected 2021 first round draft pick as well. That one hasn't gone through yet, but Houston would get 2 first round draft picks in the next 2 years, and they would get Trevor Ariza back at the same time, and Covington would go to the Portland Trailblazers.
They missed Ariza so bad.
They really
That
did.
was that was like the biggest mistake they could have made.
Yep. And
Yeah.
Covington being added to Portland is going to be a huge plus because Covington can do both on both sides of the ball.
Big facts.
Houston's about to fall apart if James
They
Harden
are.
doesn't get out of there or if Russell doesn't get out of there.
They're going to fall apart regardless just because of the relationships that's going on there now. Horace, stop. Go lay down.
Rumor has it that the reason why James Harden is so pissed is because every major player, Steph Curry gets consulted before any deals or contracts are made or any new free agents are even talked about trading and bringing in. LeBron James gets the same respect. Kevin Durant gets the same respect. And that no one from the Houston organization is getting James Harden's opinions before they're making moves and suggesting trades and stuff like that. Apparently, that's why he's pissed. That's what I heard from my sources.
Yeah, why would you get rid of your center when you're a playoff contending team and then you have nobody to guard a center or get a rebound?
Just
They
why
didn't.
would you not ask James Harden if he's on your team for his input? You don't have to go with it, but you won't even give the man the courtesy to bring him into the front office to talk to him about how he thinks things are going. You spend an hour with the guy talking about team building, even if you're completely going to block out every suggestion that he has, you're not even gonna meet with him? That's crazy to me. That is insane to me, bro.
And
I don't
It
then
know.
is.
the Milwaukee Bucks pretty much broke the bank between two trades. Um, they acquired Bogdan Bogdanovic, Justin James, and Drew Holiday for they traded so they got three players. Listen to everything that they trade away, guys. They traded away Dante DiVincenzo, Ersan Ilyasova, DJ Wilson, Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, a
Draft.
2020 first round draft pick, a
Why do you trade Eric
2024
Bledsoe?
first round draft pick, a 25 first round draft pick, a 27 first round draft pick, which is unprotected, and a 26 first round draft pick. They literally traded away their entire future for three players. All their first round draft picks for the next 7 years basically are gone.
I say
Gone.
something about this trade, and I just want to know if y'all agree or disagree. If you're in the front office for Milwaukee and all you have is Giannis, and if he leaves, there is a great possibility that within 2 years you can actually go bankrupt. Who else do they have?
They ain't
Who
gonna
can they
have a
market?
team.
Who can they sell tickets, jerseys, anything to without Giannis? You have to close your eyes, pull out your mountaintop and gnawing hunger, and go right into Trials of Osiris. You just gotta spray and pray, targeting adjusters, unflinching auto rifle aim. No more strategy goes into this, bro. There's no more hand cannon with Icarus grip, try to hit precision shots with a sniper. You have to go area of effect damage with mountaintop,
They
clean it up with
traded
gnawing hunger.
away their whole future for the
They
next
have to.
7 years
They have
just to
to.
make sure they try to build a team to keep Giannis.
Yep, they have to. They're not in a market like New York or
You don't
LA.
trade 5 first round draft picks for one player that is injury prone and hasn't played a full season in the last 4 years.
He's a two-time MVP,
Drew
arguably.
Holiday?
Oh no, I thought you talked about Giannis.
No. We're talking about trading away 5 first round draft picks for an injury riddled player for the last 4 years.
No, no. See, but that's where you're wrong. It's not about it's not trading. It's not about trading away players. It's about keeping one person. You're looking at it from the wrong perspective.
I'm looking
I
at it
will.
from the
I
right
I won't.
perspective. Why are you
I
trading
won't
away
think
your
about.
whole future for one basketball player
No,
that
no,
can't
no.
stay healthy?
Giannis is your future.
But you're looking to
Giannis
build
is the
other
future.
pieces. Look at what the Celtics
No,
did with all their draft picks and all
no,
their young
bro,
talent that they have right now. You're
bro.
telling me
There
you're
is
not
no,
trying to bring any young talent to help out
there's
Giannis? That's
there's there's
stupid.
there's there's no more team building. It's we get talent now before this guy
You
builds
didn't
his
get no
brand like
talent.
Hiatus said and
You got
leaves.
no
Before he
talent.
just
You
focuses
got
on
an
being his
injury
brand.
riddled shooting guard. And then you got Bogdanovich, who's also injury riddled, who can't stay healthy either. You literally traded away 5 of your first round draft picks for two injury
Melby,
riddled players that
if
are
you
barely going to
don't,
help Giannis.
if I'm Milwaukee, I do the exact same thing. If you're
Hell no.
Milwaukee, you don't do that, you lose Giannis.
I would
You
I would rather lose Giannis than
oh
lose
my,
all my first round draft picks for the next
Yikes!
David,
seven years.
I
Yikes!
need you right now. You cannot
Yikes!
lose Giannis, bro.
You
You
can't.
lose
You
Giannis,
can't.
you lose Giannis, and you lose what is it, 80 something
Everything.
game season? You lose, yeah, you lose
You
60
already have the
games.
risk of you losing Giannis anyways because you haven't done anything the last 4 years to give him a championship when you've been the first
So
team in the East in the last 4 years.
you still have a winning record and a franchise to build
But you're not
upon.
going anywhere. You're losing in the first round every year.
Yeah,
You're
but
not
you
going
gotta
nowheres.
going to the playoffs and getting bounced out in the first round is a whole lot better than being the worst team in the National Basketball Association because you didn't do what you could to keep a two-time league MVP who wants to win. If you don't make those moves,
Yeah.
that's I mean, like you said,
Look at what
Melby, Giannis
LeBron
still
did.
might leave.
Look at what LeBron
Like
did.
like you said, he
He
still might
wanted
leave,
to
but
win
you
and he
gotta see
wanted
that
to
night.
leave, so he went to Miami and got the best out of both worlds. And honestly, I don't blame
Giannis,
Giannis if he leaves and gets the best out of both worlds.
me neither. Me neither. And we talked about that before. Just like
They
you said,
literally
he
just
still might
traded
leave
away their
anyway.
whole future, and they're not going to have any young talent to support this man.
It
None.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
You
matters a
actually
lot.
finally have. It doesn't matter if you're in LA or Boston or Texas,
How do
because
draft picks not matter to help build
well,
a team around you for the
we
next
all
7 years?
come from winning organizations. Milwaukee does not have a revolving door of basketball talent wanting to play for them,
And that's why you have to
wanting to
use
get
those
drafted
draft
there.
picks and utilize those draft picks. You don't trade
No,
away
you
all your
keep
draft
Giannis, bro.
picks.
You keep Giannis, you keep Harden, you keep Steph Curry, you keep LeBron James,
We're talking
you
we're
keep
talking
Kevin
about
Durant.
one person. We're not talking about all these other people.
We're talking about the best five players in the National Basketball Association. You do whatever you can to keep them. You don't let
Okay, and
any of
two of
them
them
go.
that you've listed have all changed teams. Only one person has not changed teams, and Steph Curry.
Yeah, but can't afford a player and they have to leave is different than just staying because you can. Golden State's not going to be able to afford Kevin Durant if he wants to stay. He's going to ask for too much and they don't get along. Giannis isn't fighting with any of the
They didn't get
teammates.
along.
He's
That's
not
because of
fighting with the
Draymond
coaching
Green.
staff.
Draymond Green ruined that relationship.
Facts. I agree with you.
That
I
was
agree
all
with you.
Draymond Green. That was nobody else, and that was
Draymond
solely himself.
Draymond Green acts like he's a better basketball player than anyone on his team. And out of all
He
the
has the
highest
right to
paid,
be. He was
out of
back to
all
back
the,
Defensive Player of the Year.
that's defense. Kevin Durant
Defense wins
will,
championships.
no,
Yes,
no,
it
it doesn't.
does.
No, it
Defense
doesn't.
wins championships in every sport.
San Francisco 49ers had the best defense on the planet last year, and they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs.
And the Kansas City Chiefs built on their defense and grew on their defense all playoff long and had
The
probably the
number,
second best defense in the
they did
playoffs.
not have the number one defense, though.
Okay,
They
but they
did
still
not
have the
have the number
second
one
best
defense.
defense. They still have one of the best defenses in the league during the playoffs at that point, and that's why they won a championship. Because their
Then
defense
why
was
don't the
trending
then
every
why
single
don't
week.
then why don't the Bucks have a championship? Because they have a top defense as well in the NBA. They've had a top 10 defense since Giannis came into the
We,
league.
we literally just described that. Giannis has had no help, and they just traded away their whole future and still got no help.
But defense wins championships, baby. I need them
You
to
have
win
one
something.
person, though. It doesn't matter
But
if you got one person being a ball hawk on your defense and being the defensive player of the year and MVP and having the best defense. When it comes to having pieces around you and actually winning games and not getting knocked out of the first round of the playoffs, that's a whole different story. You've been
Melby, you
knocked out of
cannot
the
trade away
playoffs in
a
the
two-time.
first round every single
You
year.
you cannot keep draft picks
You have to. Look
and
what the
let
Celtics
the
have done.
MVP. You
Look
cannot
what
keep
the other teams have done with draft
if
picks.
you're two-time MVP, the most valuable basketball player in the league is going to leave and you're in Milwaukee, you cannot allow him to leave. You're in Milwaukee. You're not the Lakers. You're
Yep,
not
ain't nobody
the
trying to come
Spurs.
there.
Yeah, no one wants to go there. You're not the Knicks. The Knicks are still one of the most valuable NBA franchises, and they're terrible. But they're in New York.
And nobody wants to
Mhm.
go there.
Nobody, not even Kevin Durant, wanted to go there, and that's New York.
Nope. That's what I'm
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Giannis is
You got
gone.
to keep.
They just made a huge mistake, and Giannis is gonna realize that. They literally traded their whole future away,
They have to.
on top of two of his best buddies on that team at the same time. Yeah, Giannis is not staying.
I think he stays now.
No. If Giannis stays, it's only going to be on a 1 year deal.
I think he stays. I do.
He ain't signing no max contract. If he stays, it'll be on a 1 year deal. He'll see how this pans out, and if it doesn't pan out, he's gone because he knows their future is diminished because all their draft picks are gone. They won't be able to support him in the next few years. at
Agreed,
all.
and that's where Giannis will have to make a decision if he's a competitor or if he's just going to stay for a supermax. That's when we'll find out who Giannis really is. I agree, Melby. We'll find out next year for sure who he really is. If he wants a championship, if they get bounced
If
out
he
in the
wants a
first round of the
championship,
playoffs
he would
again
leave
this
now.
year,
He
if
would
they get
pull
bounced out of the
LeBron and
first
he
round
would
of the
go to
playoffs
Miami.
again, if they
Giannis
lose
needs to
again,
go to Miami this year, is what he needs to do.
I don't think that's going to happen.
His best bet would either go to Miami or to go to Dallas. Those are his two best options.
I think that boy needs to stay in the East. I think
Uh,
Miami would be a better
if he
option. I don't
stays in
think
the
he needs to come
East,
to
he
the
goes
West.
to Miami. But if he goes to the
Yeah.
West, he definitely going to Dallas.
Well, the East is a guaranteed playoff spot. I wouldn't guarantee him anything in the West,
But
but the East is a guaranteed
with
playoff
how
spot.
much they just diminished their team, that like I said, they literally got rid of their entire bench.
They did, but
They
they had
got rid of their entire bench on top of their starting point guard for two injury riddled players and got rid of 5 draft picks. You have no
their.
future left and you have no pieces around you no more. You have worse
Let me.
pieces than what you have now than what you just traded for.
I'm gonna tell you something. When I was the manager of this one call center for about 3.5 years, I had some top performers, and then I had mediocre performers, and I had low performers. The top performers were so two of them were so inconsistent with their attendance and everything like that. I didn't know what days they would be there, what days they would not be there, if they were going to miss 3 days, if they were going to miss a week. And then you have your people who suck, but they're there every single day. And let me tell you something. Those top performers, as inconsistent as their attendance was, whenever they were there, they put the entire company and the entire team on their shoulders. They were that damn good. So if I'm the front office at Milwaukee and I have these perfect attendance, less than mediocre players who don't help Giannis in the playoffs at all, and I can get rid of all of them and bring in some people who have had injury accidents or whatever, but overall they're better players. They might not be as healthy and have 100% attendance or whatever. I'm gonna go with those people who can perform better. I'd rather have a player who in the NBA, not in the NFL. NFL is different. In the NBA, I'd rather have a player who's going to be out 6 games over the next 2 months, but when he plays, he's going to be the reason why we win, than to have a player who's not going to miss one game in the next 6 months and we're going to lose every game that he plays and starts. Like that's not what I want. NFL is different. NFL, I do want consistency because I want to run the same plays. We only have 16 games. But in the NBA, I feel like Milwaukee did exactly what they had to do to put everything on the table for Giannis. You got to put everything on the table to keep that man. He's all you have. What you have nothing to lose. If you keep all those draft picks and then you lose Giannis, you're still going to lose 60% of your games.
Yeah,
Even
but
if you
then you
bring in
also
all these
have a
players,
chance to at least rebuild your team after. Right now, you have no ability to rebuild your team if Giannis leaves after this year. You
they
have
wouldn't be able
no
to
ability
rebuild
to
either
rebuild at
way.
all.
They wouldn't be able to rebuild. You can rebuild all you want, but the rebuilding process takes more than a year. It takes more than
But
two
they
years.
just traded away their whole rebuilding process for the next 7 years. They traded away every single first round draft pick until 2027. They have no
Maybe
rebuilding process left at all.
maybe they think the world's going to end before
They have no that's what I'm
2027.
saying. Like if Giannis does come back for at least this year and then leaves, they literally have no rebuilding process left after. They traded away everything.
Cross for the zombie apocalypse.
Literally, like they're screwed if Giannis decides to leave after this year and he does eventually sign this year. Like they have
I think
no
Giannis,
rebuilding left after this.
I think Giannis stays this year. I think they make it past the first round of the playoffs, and I think he signs a super max contract, whatever that may be, and stays with Milwaukee. That's what I think happens. Because he's new to the NBA, right? LeBron James has gotten the supers, everybody else has gotten the supers or whatever. Like Giannis, he gonna want that $200 million, bro. he ain't as set up as LeBron and Steph Curry and Kawhi
Mhm.
Leonard and them are. He gonna want that 200 mil. He ain't got no 200 mil, bro. He ain't making no $40,000. I mean, $40 million a year. He ain't making no $37 million a year. He gonna want that 200 mil at least one time. He might leave after that, but he gonna want that 200 mil at least the first time.
What's your take on all this hiatus? You haven't spoke a whole lot on this.
I see throwing in
Cause
comp
you,
right now.
cause you guys done you took it all. It is, I mean, it is what it is. Everything that you guys has said, both you know, both you, Melby, and Lant, like this is basketball. You're gonna see what he's made of.
Yep.
And there's some choices that need to be made, not just with Giannis, but a lot of teams got to make some hard choices on what they're going to do for the next season and how they're going to compete.
Speaking of hard choices, there's going to be a lot of trades and a lot of moves tomorrow during the draft, guys. Yeah, it's all in for the Bucks living.
Yep.
If Giannis doesn't sign, they're screwed for the next 10 years. They literally have no future left, and it's sad. I can't believe they traded away every single one of their first round draft picks.
Yeah, but remember, Melby, these are $1 million businessmen. They did that because they have it on great authority that Giannis is going to stay. Just like I said, he's new to the league.
He's not
When
new,
they
new.
off,
He's been in
when
for
they,
a good 7 years now, though.
all I'm saying is
That's generally about half of the league's percentage on their
yep.
average years spent in the league already.
They spoke with them and said, "Here's what we can do for now, but we're going to offer you that super max next year." That's what they
That's if
told
they
them.
can stay healthy, JJ. Both of those guys are injury riddled, so that's another reason why I was surprised they traded away so many first round draft picks for two guys that can't stay healthy.
I would have tried to keep Eric Bledsoe though. I don't know why they let him go. I
That's
would
what
have tried
I'm
to keep him.
saying. Like,
I would have tried to keep Bledsoe. You don't let
traded away a
Bledsoe go.
lot of pieces and a lot of draft picks for two injury riddled players.
But Livin's right. Holiday is going to be a big help.
He will, as
A
long as he can
big.
stay healthy. He missed like half of last season because of injury. I had him on my fantasy team. That's the only reason why I know.
Fantasy basketball is rough.
Give me them
Fantasy
points.
Basketball
basketball
is
is
rough.
rough, chat. Fantasy
That's
basketball is no
oof.
joke.
That's rough, bro. I
Fantasy
can't do that.
basketball is no joke. Try fantasy
I
baseball,
did that
chat.
one year, and I
Fantasy
was like,
baseball is a
hell no.
whole nother world. Fantasy baseball is hard.
But while I got you, Livin, what's up? That's my
What's
bro
up?
right there.
But
Hey,
yes,
Livin, at Guardian Con,
there's gonna be so much to pay attention to tomorrow, guys. And then free agency officially opens on Friday.
we all gonna go out at Guardian
It's
Con.
oh yeah, we
Just the
all gotta
boys.
go out Guardian Con.
We got to do the night with everybody with you know what I mean, Chelsea and
Everybody
Dahlia,
and
and if
everybody.
McKinnon is there, like everybody. But then we got to do the boys, y'all. Us, CB, Vegeta, like we got to do the boys. I'm just saying. Yep.
All right, fellas, top it off with some WWE before we wrap this up.
All right. So Survivor Series is this Sunday, and it's one of the pay-per-views that I hate to say, but it really doesn't matter. What they're really gonna do is find a way to make both champions from each show, Raw and SmackDown, look strong without a legitimate loss. So Roman Reigns will probably defeat Drew McIntyre, but it might be through some type of count out or disqualification because they're not going to switch titles, right? Same thing will happen between Sasha Banks and Asuka, but the most important news, and even has a political aspect to it in the WWE, is how Vince McMahon and the WWE have banned all WWE superstars from third-party apps. They can no longer have TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter in their names at all because their names are licensed and owned by WWE. So when this first happened, everyone had to take down their Twitter. AJ Styles, John Cena, down their Twitch, everything like that. So a lot of WWE superstars stream. And so this did not bode well with Andrew Yang, who was also running for the Democratic National primaries to see if he could eventually run for president of the United States, and he vowed that if Joe Biden won the presidential election, then he and Biden would work hard on looking into and investigating the labor practices of Vince McMahon and the WWE, the billion-dollar corporation that has had so many complaints. So, in light of all this, WWE issuing emails to every superstar, and the biggest superstars, of course, were who have the biggest following. Of course, are going to be the divas, right? Because they're always half naked on TV. But also, AJ Styles, John Cena, Matt Riddle. You know what I mean? Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Like they have huge, ginormous follows, like millions of people. And the female divas, they don't get as much airtime as the men do, right? So they don't make as much money. So some of these female superstars are making more money off of their Twitch and TikTok than they are from their actual WWE salary. So two WWE superstars were super upset. Two females, one named Paige, one named Zelina Vega. I love both of them. Okay, I would drink Paige's bathwater. But anyway, so
Uh,
they started talking about they started talking about unionizing. And if you've ever, well, since all of us have been in the workforce, but if you've ever had a business position or a blue collar job, you talk about unionizing, you lose your job and your benefits instantly.
yep.
So Paige started talking about it, and Zelina Vega, after she posted, "I am all about unionizing" or something like that, she was fired 10 minutes later by the WWE. Um, so when that happened, she reactivated her Twitch account, went live, and was very tearful and crying because she loves wrestling. She loves the WWE, but she doesn't agree with their labor practices and how she's been treated. That she will bounce on her feet, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be picked up by either TNA or AEW. But Andrew Yang and commented on her Twitter that he's already working with them and talking to the necessary people to have WWE and Vince McMahon investigated. Also, other unions. If you go to Zelina Vega's Twitter and her Twitch, other unions are now subscribing to her and they're backing her up. So this could be the beginning of big change for the WWE's labor practices. So I'm just waiting to see how many other WWE superstars take that leave of absence and start following suit, because big class action lawsuits like what could be happening, and we don't know what's going to happen because Vince McMahon has more money than God and could eventually probably buy off some senators and Congress members if he really wants to. Um, but we'll see what happens. It only takes one person to start a movement, and Zelina Vega and Paige are starting a movement. Zelina Vega's husband, Aleister Black, is already reportedly having issues with Vince McMahon and asked to be moved off of the SmackDown roster and moved to NXT on Wednesdays, and they've declined him. So it's already having a ripple effect. Other WWE superstars are starting to comment on it, and I'm telling you, they are going to lawyer up, and you're going to see some big changes over the next year to the WWE, and it's going to make for big news because Vince McMahon is a billionaire, and this is a worldwide company. They're international. They have shows in India. They're all over the world. Wrestling is no joke. All
You
right,
know what
it's
surprises me the
huge.
most about this too is that a lot of these big name wrestlers like John Cena and Randy Orton and even back in the early days all had social media when they first started coming on. So why now this is all starting to become an issue regarding them having other social platforms and promoting their name and this, that, and the other shouldn't matter either way, because it never mattered to them to begin with for the previous however long social media has even been a case now, like 20 some years now, guys. Like, there ain't no reasoning that they should even be bringing this into a factor anymore or even be bringing it up at this point.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why, because I can see both
Um,
sides. It's Melby and Hiatus. If y'all start your own company and you call it Titans for Hire or Guardians for Hire, right? And you have a couple of, that's your stream team or whatever, and you find out that that stream team that y'all created members are creating their own Guardians for Hire merch, they're on other websites and stuff, not even on Twitch, but they also are now on Facebook Gaming and some other ones that no one cares about. And they're making money getting subs, but they're doing that because of the popularity of the stream team that y'all created, and y'all aren't getting any residuals from it. You're gonna want them to take it down because that's capitalism. My thing is Vince McMahon, these female divas, you're not paying them enough money, first of all. If they're making more money off of Twitch than being on TV in front of millions, that lets me know that there might be a wage issue. Because I'm sorry, last time I checked, a female and a male should be being paid the same amount of money. Um, at least in the same bracket. But the fact that some of these female divas are making more from their Twitch subs, and all of you who are content creators know Twitch doesn't pay anything for a sub. We always appreciate everyone who subs to our channels, and we love y'all. You never have to sub. We just like hanging out with y'all. But Twitch doesn't give us anything almost from that. Like quarters. They give us quarters on the dollar for that. Um, so if a WWE superstar who's at WrestleManias and Royal Rumbles and Survivor Series and stuff like that, like the big pay-per-views, aren't even making more than their Twitch subs, that lets me know that there may be a greater issue when it comes to female superstars. Because so far right now, it's really with the female superstars, not with the males. AJ Styles is not going to care. Randy Orton's not going to care because I guarantee you they're in the millions.
Yeah, his wife making enough money as it is, anyways, too.
Yeah, true that. True that. True that. But they're in the millions. The only females that I would assume that are in the millions, and I don't know because it's not like their W-2s are public or whatever, would be Charlotte Flair, multiple champion, right? Sasha Banks, Bailey, and Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. So I would say maybe 4 females who were making $1 million. That's it. I would put every other female diva probably not making $1 million. And the thing is, with the guys, because it's so competitive with TNA and AEW, I know they're making millions of dollars, even though they're not champions. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Bill Goldberg, Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, Undertaker. Like, you can't, Braun Strowman, like, you can't tell me all of these dudes aren't making $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all are in the millions, bro, because they're guys. I think there may be a deeper issue looking into the WWE, and it saddens me because I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. If they're not paying women equal shares to where they're forcing them to cut down their main revenue stream, that I have a problem with.
Big issues. I'm not liking it. Not liking it. Is there anything else you guys want to add in? Anything or any other topics we want to add in? Chat, is there anything you guys want to ask us or anything like that before we wrap up?
Just so y'all know, me and Melby are single, and we are taking applications. So, just kidding.
Apparently, I am a quarterback, guys, so there is a little bit of an incentive here, so...
You look like a freaking NFL quarterback, like post game, just chilling with like an energy
We got
drink.
the beanie going on. We got the beard all scuffed out.
He looks like a QB.
Oh shit.
Melby, when you sent us that video, I was like, no homo, that's a handsome quarterback right there.
Oh man. So, if nobody has any questions, guys, do you guys have anything you guys want to add before we wrap up, fellas?
Nope. Nothing I can think of. I keep seeing the docu-series for Tyson versus
I
Roy
know.
Jones.
They need to finalize that if it's actually gonna happen or not. Like, we're coming close to the end of the year. They said this fight was gonna happen. Like, wasn't it supposed to be this month? This fight was supposed to happen?
It was supposed to happen.
It was supposed to originally happen in like October. Like
He
he
don't want
keeps
the
getting
smoke.
pushed back and pushed back and pushed back.
Yeah, very possible. I
Like
just
just give us the Mike Tyson Evander Holyfield rematch. Like Evander Holyfield was ready for it. Just give us the match. Like let us see
that
something.
that part because right now, like it's just bad.
It
It's
is.
just
It is. It is.
Yeah, he don't want that smoke. He don't want that work. The only thing
of
I have to
course.
say, y'all, is just remember, wear your mask if you go out in public.
Mine are in my
Cases
car.
are spiking up all over the United States of America, y'all. This
This
thing
is
is not
true.
over. I'm sorry if that some major public figures gave the impression that it was over, but it's not over. And if y'all get my grandma killed, I'm coming after you. Wear your mask. Okay? Stop killing people's grandmas. The mask is so other people can be protected from you, not so you can be protected from others. Remember that. It's so you can protect the public from yourself. So just wear your mask, please.
All right, fellas, we've had a good night. Chat, thank you for everyone for coming in tonight. Much appreciated. You guys are absolutely amazing. You guys don't have to do what you do. We love you all. Absolutely amazing. Uh, Shady's beard reaction. We actually have just an exclamation point high for him. Actually, we make it simple around here, chat.
Yeah,
We
baby.
we got exclamation points for everybody and everybody up in here. We're gonna throw them all in before we leave, and we're gonna throw in the one that we're about to raid, guys. We are gonna. Oh, I didn't mean to throw in the five,
Shells.
but we
Yeah,
are gonna
shells
return the
are on.
favor, guys. Shelsky raided us the other day. We are gonna go raid some Shelsky. Go say hi to Shelsky, guys. We love Shelsky. She's absolutely amazing. Um, she
It's all
raided
right.
us the other
No,
day,
I'm just kidding.
so we're gonna
I'm
return her
just
the
kidding.
favor, guys. And again, much appreciated. Thank you all for stopping in. We're sorry about being absent for the last week or so, but everyone's been so tied up with the new Destiny content, getting everything situated. This Saturday will be kind of the same situation, guys. All of us are included into a raid group for day one raid.
Ready
All
for
of us
work, baby.
included
Ready
into a
for
day
work.
one raid for Saturday, so we will all be busy on Saturday. I myself am planning a 24-hour stream for that. Um, it's going to be a busy day for all of us. So we will be back. I'll see how these guys are feeling Sunday morning after raid day. If we want to do something maybe before football to catch up on everything real quick or whatnot. But depending on how we're feeling, we'll come about that. But if not, we'll see you guys again on Tuesday. But again, guys, thank you for stopping in. Fellas, it was a great night. Let's go raid Shelsky, guys. Throw in some
Absolutely.
Oh,
emotes.